Ermanni, University of Michigan great Braylon Edwards, and of course, Maz are about to take over on Woodward Sports. Every day, 2 to 4 p.m., it's the best Detroit sports talk on Detroit's best sports network, Woodward Sports.
Welcome in, Ermanni and Edwards with Maz. I'm Braylon Edwards, your host. My man Anson Wells has decided to join the desk. They always a great time when he comes in. But before you say anything, I want to give you some love. I want to give Michigan State some love. They start off 1-0. I don't care how you get a victory. Getting victories is hard in college football. Congratulations, 1-0 as you take on Maryland this weekend. So some love. I come with a peace offering.
I appreciate it.
I come with the olive branch.
We are undefeated.
This
Michigan
is true.
And Michigan State.
2-0 as a team, man.
Fantastic.
State of Michigan, man. We're 2-0. Michigan takes on Texas. I'm actually going as I introduce Tom Masway. How you doing there, brother? What's going on?
Hey, Bray. Hey, Anson. Hey, fellas.
Hey.
Do we have any eye situations, any headaches? How are you feeling?
I'm feeling all right. I was at the eye doctor today.
Okay.
Yeah.
And now I'm ready to go do this other eye. Let's
Okay.
go. Let's get it done.
All in the process.
Let's
I
get it
appreciate it.
done.
Welcome in KG on the ones and twos. How you feeling, brother?
Hey, man, feeling good. It's been a long Friday, but it's worth it, man. About to go on vacation. I'm going to miss y'all next week, man. I am.
You
God
taking
bless
off
you.
work already?
Yes, man.
The football season just started.
Listen, and there's 17 weeks to go, so we'll be okay.
You come back, somebody gonna be in that booth.
Who, Silent Mike?
That's magic. Magic, Mike.
No offense. Shout out Silent Mike. He'll be here all next week. So
You know what? I got nothing. With that being said, peace pie back on the ones and twos. The bet didn't hit P, but you were close. I'm going back with you today. I think you're gonna have something from us coming up later on in the show. How you doing, brother?
I'm doing well, Bray. I'm a little hungover today. It was an NFL Thursday, and it's an NFL Friday night. Let's have some fun, have a good show, my friend. And how are you doing today?
I'm actually doing good. Last night I got a chance to go down to Gillies Bar and Grill. Dan Gilbert named it after it's his family, but he did it in honor of his brother, I believe, Nick Gilbert. But it was a fun buy. It was very sexy. Woodward Sports. We partnered up with Scene Magazine, so it was a cool space. Saw some of the guys on there. Ryan was down there. Brady Wood, who's doing a phenomenal job in marketing sponsor. We really appreciate you, Brady. Keep plugging, man. Woodward Sports. We see it going on there. It was fun. I got a chance to see the Hudson Project. They're almost finished with that thing, man.
nice.
Like it's moving fast down there, so that was good. Woodward Sports represented tonight. Little Michigan-Texas kickoff. Derek Jeter, one of the legends of all time. Maz is you see Maz started. He's in the chat
so
now.
excited.
But Derek Jeter's having the event. It's in conjunction with Citron or not Citron.
He's a captain tomorrow.
He is. He's honorary captain. So they're doing a tequila tasting with him. Matthew McConaughey will be there, so it'll be interesting, man. I actually met Matthew McConaughey.
Wooderson's gonna be there.
Wooderson, baby.
All right.
He might sell you a Lincoln. Watch out.
Hey, 100%, man. I actually saw a podcast. He's talking about how he came up with the all right. And it was what was the movie?
Dazed and Confused, one of the
Dazed and
5
Confused.
greatest movies
Yes.
of all
Yes.
time.
That was his first role ever, his
Yep.
first line ever. He said,
Yeah.
"What is my character?
That's
What
his
is my
first
So
role?
Kevin
first
Hart.
line, first row?"
So
It's-
Kevin Hart stole that from him?
Yeah.
Oh, that's such an
100%.
iconic
Yeah.
role,
Yeah.
too.
All right.
Wow, I didn't know that.
So should be some fun, but Maz, I will say hello tonight to Derek Jeter and tell him
Please
he's your
do.
guy.
Tell him my dog is named after him.
I definitely will.
New York royalty.
Football started last night.
It did?
Finally.
The NFL last
Are you
night
su-
is
are
a
you
great
sure?
game in which the Kansas City Chiefs,
Who?
they beat the Baltimore Ravens, the reigning defending two-time champs, the Chiefs. They just had too much Baltimore.
By a toe.
But
Tough way to lose.
before
No,
we before
by
we
a
get into
flag
that,
or 5.
Hold on, Anson, before you get going. But that's not where I want to start. The Detroit Tigers win on a walk-off grand
right,
slam.
there we go.
Tom Masway
Parker
watched the whole game.
Meadows.
Parker Meadows, where have you been? Tom Masway, take it away.
I was at the bowling alley. I asked him, please, put the Tigers on one, put the football on the other. It was great. I got home. It was still 3-0. I'm like, who knows? The game, I was pissed off at the Chiefs game because, like you said, Anson, and we'll talk about it, the flags only went one way yesterday.
Yeah.
And like I said, we'll chat about it. So
Yeah.
I flicked back to Bally's, and I just love listening to Jason Benetti and Dan Petrie. They are phenomenal and getting better every game. And here it comes, 9th inning. They load the bases up. 2 outs, 3-2
Man,
count.
start the
Parker
conversation.
Meadows
What happened
up.
the night before?
What was that?
How they lost the night before?
the
and
night
then
Extra innings.
The night before, they blew that game and lost in extra innings.
Yeah.
Left a ghost runner at second. It was
Can't
at
do
third,
it.
actually. And then last night, bases loaded. Here comes Parker Meadows. 3-2 count, 2 outs, and the best pitcher for the Padres, Robert Suarez. on the hill, throwing 100. Throws one right down upstairs. Parker Meadows. It didn't look like a home run swing.
Yeah,
but that ball
wasn't a
just
pretty
kept
swing.
on going, and grand slam to win it. They shut it down at the bottom of the ninth. Foley, I think, shut it down.
That's actually the second time in history that a team was on the road down to their last out, down 3-0.
Wow.
Do you know what illustrious company he joins? The
I do
man in
not.
1955 by the name of Ted Williams.
Hey.
The only other one to ever do that.
Good call, Anson. I was going to tell you the last time the Tigers have done that was '88 and Alan Trammell with the grand slam.
Tram.
I was pretty damn good, man. So the Tigers, just when I was ready to put the dirt over them, they're back. I know they're 5 out, 24 or 23 games to go. I don't care. We're counting the games here in September. They play the Athletics, who was what a great story. They keep trying to stab the A's to death, and they just keep living. And they have a great record against the Tigers. Matter of fact, Tigers have a losing record at Oakland, at the Coliseum. This will be their last visit to the Oakland Coliseum because they're going to
Sacramento?
carpetbag their way out of town next season.
It's a short porch over there next year for him, too.
Yep.
Load up on those A's on that fantasy
Yep,
squad.
so 5 out. They're 71-70, and they're playing the A's tonight.
Sheesh.
Great game last night, and then I flicked it back to the football, and what a finish. What a finish.
Wow.
What a finish indeed. The Kansas City Chiefs, like we said, they win 20-27. Isaiah Likely on 4th and 13, last-ditch
I
effort
wanted this
for
to go
the
so
Baltimore
bad.
Ravens.
You and me both.
A toe out. This is very similar to the Kevin Durant three-pointer that could have sealed the deal, but instead his foot was on the line. They go to overtime, and they lose. Tremendous game. Like, what is your takeaway? First thoughts about the Baltimore Ravens. Go.
Well, the Baltimore Ravens, this one was circled on their calendar all offseason. You saw it in the play of Lamar Jackson. The guy was willing his team to at least trying to get to victory. That first half, the calls with the not on the line, so they called it illegal procedure, illegal formation. They got 5 calls, but there was, I think, 3 drives with major large plays where they got these calls, and still Lamar Jackson was able to find his way to a third down. I was really, really impressed with the Ravens. I think you could tell that their big, shiny new piece, Derrick Henry, they're not quite sure yet how to use him. As that game went on, you saw them using him better and him being a lot more efficient with his touches. At the end of the season, that's going to be a scary offense.
I like what you said there. Look, I'll get into KG and Maz before I give my take on what I think, but just expounding on what you said, I agree 100%. Derrick Henry is used to the quarterback being in I formation when they take snaps. Lamar Jackson's out of shotgun all the time. I want to say only 2 of his handoffs wasn't Lamar in shotgun. So they got to find out as an offensive system how they want to utilize the big fella 100%. I think Lamar played. I think he played extremely well. Look, he missed some throws. Some throws he liked to have back. I mean, the one at the end of the game was
2.
I'm talking about, I switched, but yes, to your point, Zay Flowers on one, Isaiah Likely coming open on another. But the Isaiah Likely pass, it was just another situation. Lamar being Lamar, making a play happen, and almost, like you beating those guys with that. But the Derrick Henry, I like that. It is going to take some time for them to understand how to use him, what he's comfortable with, and what it mixes in with Lamar Jackson, KG.
Yeah, and I'm talking from the perspective of a Lamar Jackson fan. What I saw last night was the offense. I thought the play calling was real suspect by the Ravens. They have some problems on that offensive line, more than what I thought that they had. And also, Lamar left some plays on the table. I do understand those calls were kind of bad, and they did go against him, but even with that, they were still in the game, and the plays just weren't there. He didn't make the plays, man. So I need to see a better Lamar Jackson going forward, and I'm sure they'll get it together. But Derrick Henry not even reaching 50 yards, even though they don't really know how to utilize him just yet. I thought that was a little bit bad. And, over time they will get better, but I do worry about them in terms of playoff football. Will we see this type of Ravens team in the postseason, especially with their receiving core not being as deep as it should be? They didn't even utilize Mark Andrews last night.
Yes.
Isaiah Likely is good. Don't get me wrong, but Mark Andrews, where was
2
he?
catches, 16 yards,
you can't do that. That's your best tight end.
Don't forget, he was in a car accident. He's just coming out.
I understand.
He barely had any practice time.
I understand.
And you know what? Maybe it's his time to, he ain't the guy. Maybe Likely is the guy. He was great down the stretch last year, if you remember, in the playoffs.
Yeah, he was, absolutely.
And the guy he's a big body stud.
Yeah.
Mark Andrews might have lost his gig.
He looks like Evan Ingram out there.
You need to utilize both if you want to get more out of this offense because they just don't have a dominant receiver. Zay Flowers is good, but I don't know if he's at that elite level just yet.
I say we got to pump the brakes a little.
Okay.
Like, it's week one.
I understand.
You got nerves out there. It's a new team essentially on offense. You got a lot of new pieces, whether it's the offensive line, Derrick Henry at running back. You got Isaiah Likely starting in that role now, and it's a new offensive coordinator. And you got a smaller Lamar Jackson who actually ran bigger than he did last year. It's going to take some time for them to gel, to mesh. So I would give some pause on that side. I think the defense, they did a decent job, but this is Patrick Mahomes. And we'll get into the Chiefs, the second side of it. But I think my only issue is the mental side of it. Because we can sit here and tell, this is typically a conversation that we have all the time. It's, Lamar played well, with the exception of the AFC Championship. It's Lamar played well, just didn't come up short, or he doesn't have the receiver, or they weren't getting the calls, or, his foot was on the line. That's my bigger issue. I think as a team, they'll get it together in the playoffs, and we'll see what happens down the line. But it's the mental side of it. It's always a reason why. We're always trying to see what Lamar Jackson's going to say at the podium. This time he says, hey, they're not our kryptonite. So he's pissed off.
Right.
He was frustrated. Feel like he did a lot. It's just whatever it is, whether it's John Harbaugh, whether it's the offensive coordinator, whether it's Lamar Jackson, their mental crutch is the Kansas City Chiefs.
No doubt about it.
Yeah, it seems to be.
It's the mental crutch because they didn't play a perfect game by no means.
No, they didn't.
Kansas City Chiefs were very beatable last night. It's something with John Harbaugh and it's something with Lamar Jackson. It's a mental thing. And until they get over that, it's always going to be because nobody else could have beat the Baltimore Ravens last night, if I'm being honest.
Factual.
Like, I will stack them against anybody in the league last night. I think they would have beat any other team, including the Detroit Lions. But it's something about the Chiefs and that mental trying to get over that hump. It's like Peyton Manning having to finally beat Tom Brady.
What happened to Derrick Henry? He gets the first touchdown, and then
no show.
What did they get? 3 carries after that? Nothing. Nothing
Finished
from
under
Derrick
50
Henry.
yards,
I don't know. That's kind of odd to me.
Yeah,
that you didn't see him anymore in the game. And who got in, Pete? Justice Hill?
Justice Hill.
I was so shocked.
Come on, man. He's on the field when you got Derrick Henry?
Derrick Henry doesn't catch out of the backfield. Derrick Henry is an old school running back. He's probably the last old school running back in the NFL. Maybe Zeke, but Zeke catches out of the backfield a little bit. Derrick Henry is just for run.
Yep.
And this is a new style NFL. This is passing. You got to have – look at both our running backs. Dave Montgomery is the bruiser. And then they take him out, they put Jahmyr Gibbs, they do all the extra things. So, you need a guy like Justice Hill.
I like your point on the mental aspect of this. It kind of reminds me of Jordan in the late 80s with the Pistons.
Yeah,
he
they're
was
1-5.
frustrated. In
They're 1-5.
91, I want to say it was February, and it was after Isaiah had broken his wrist and his metacarpals in his hand.
Yeah.
And Jordan, this is not wide knowledge, but it was put out there. Jordan basically said, if we can't beat Detroit without Isaiah, I don't know if we can. And it was actually him kind of tipping his hat that he might be ready to walk if the Bulls couldn't do it. They won that game in Detroit by 1 point. Now, this is a similar situation. The Chiefs have put Lamar out. He's had this date circled all year long. But as much of a mental issue it is for them, I think, to your point, KG, it's real early. Now, you got a brand new guy in Derrick Henry they're not quite sure on how to use. To your point, Maz, you got the focal point of this offense for the last 5 years, and Mandrews, as I call him, Mark Andrews, who just came off of a car accident and wasn't a huge part of the offense yesterday. You're also looking at Lamar Jackson in the second year of an offense that's completely different from what he's played the majority of his career in. Wow. And on top of that, you are added into the fact that they have given him carte blanche to call his own plays and to audible at the line. We saw some of that. We saw a 4th down play where he threw it to Zay Jones, and it was short. Lamar's going to have to grow in that role.
Yeah.
He can obviously make plays. He can extend a game. He can get you to within inches of a win. But he's going to have to make the kind of calls at the line that we've seen out of Jared Goff for this offense to take that next step to get over the hurdle that is Pat Mahomes and the Kansas City Chiefs.
He missed Flowers wide open. I know he was running, kind of threw away from his body. but the kid's open, and likely was open on the first down in the corner, and he overthrew that one. So, hey, it's first game. The guy is a great quarterback, and I would not mind him being my quarterback.
Nope.
And I think the Ravens, like I said, like Braylon said, maybe others, I think they'll be the AFC Super Bowl team to get in there. And I think we'll see these two teams again in the playoffs. Not sure if it'll be for the championship.
Yeah.
I believe the Jets are going to be there, but who knows, man. The Chiefs are the two-time defending Super Bowl champs. They got a lot of pride. And then they signed this kid, Xavier Worthy. Could he be in a better team than this? That kid is going to be spectacular.
Yeah, I think he's going to be spectacular. You know, closing in with the Baltimore Ravens, it is early in all aspects. That's what we talked about in terms of Derrick Henry, in terms of the offense, the offensive line, because they did get pushed off the ball yesterday. And that will get better, what I'm saying. But the one thing that isn't an opening game is the mental aspect. And this Lamar Jackson, like, look, you're the two-time MVP of this league.
Yeah.
Like, people have been talking about you for a very long time. You've had many of opportunity to represent that, to make that play, to take that next step, and you haven't.
Eventually, the blame gonna fall on you.
At some point, you got to make that play. Like, it's a bunch of flashy numbers. Like, look, he had great numbers to a certain extent. Like, look, he had 278 passing yards. He had a touchdown. He had 122 rushing yards. Like, it looked amazing, but he doesn't get the W. At some point, you got to make that play. Like, he's a tremendous player. But going on the other side, Patrick Mahomes makes those plays countless time in and time again. And man, as you brought it up, Xavier Worthy. Like,
What a steal.
How couldn't we see this? That
I
it
saw
was going to work like this.
Once they drafted him and he had that 4.2 speed, I knew this is Tyreek Hill all over
Wait
again. If he
until
can
they
catch the
get
ball-
Hollywood Brown healthy.
Oh, my God.
They don't even know how to use Xavier Worthy yet. Yesterday, you know what it reminded me of? It reminded me of the Lions. There it is. It reminded me of the Lions and J-Mo. When you're watching the NFC Championship, you're like, and they don't even know how to use this guy yet.
100%.
It was the same thing as when I
agree.
saw Xavier Worthy.
That's what I was thinking as well. That's what I
I
was
think
thinking
they
as well.
watched the NFC Championship.
Now,
Yeah, 100%.
we'd
Same
be
type of
remiss to end this conversation without talking about the 5 illegal formation penalties called on one team. Now,
That's a fact.
I know that there's a new kickoff rule. This is a new rule. Am I missing something? Was there an update to or change to a rule where guys have to be closer to the offense, to the line of scrimmage? Because the fact that Kansas City never got called, and you have, I mean, this is like when your kid keeps doing the same thing and you just keep giving them the same penalty over and over again, but it doesn't work. 5, and 3 of them were on massive plays. This is the same team in Kansas City that didn't get one of those called last night, that in their 3 Super Bowls with Mahomes have not had an offensive holding call placed against them. That kind of worries me, man.
Yeah, no, look, I don't do the conspiracy theory thing as it relates to sports, but with this one, it's not. But see, with sports, this isn't a conspiracy theory. This is just the truth. We watched the game last year to start the season. Juwan Jones was offsides how many times?
Oh, a lot.
That's right.
Like 5, 6 times, and they finally called it once out of 7 times.
That's a great call.
This is an ongoing thing. They did it against the New York Jets. The New York Jets complained about it. They did it about 5, 6 times. Last year, the Chiefs became the crybabies of the NFL, complaining whether it was Patrick Mahomes, whether it was the coach. Started complaining about calls. Meanwhile, they're getting all the calls.
All of them.
You're absolutely right about that. Like, there needs to be some accountability. Like, everyone can see what the Chiefs are getting. Like, you guys, they're a great team. You don't have to then cheat for them as well.
Right.
They're like the 80s Celtics out there. Like, they're complaining anytime they don't get a call, on top of the fact that they're getting all of the calls.
I say the Lakers.
And, I mean, my dad was asking me, he's like, who do you think? Who do you think? And I love the Ravens. I'm a Ravens guy.
Yeah.
And maybe my fandom got me picking them. I felt that all of the offseason hoopla, getting your rings, this late start would be a distraction for the Chiefs. But looking at it now, seeing that these guys are going to continue to get these kind of calls, he said it. My dad said it to me. Do you think the NFL is going to let them lose a second time at home, opening week after they won a championship, but now with Taylor Swift in tow?
Yeah.
I don't know, man.
She looked good yesterday, by the way.
Oh.
I liked her look yesterday.
She looked thicker than
You like to look at
she
her?
looked thicker. She looked thicker. I like those legs. Those legs
Say it
look
again,
damn
man.
good.
She
I'm
looked
sorry.
Hey,
I don't mind. I'm just telling you. She looked damn
With a
good. yesterday.
CK or 2 C's?
She looked damn good.
That's CKA. That's thick.
Right. It's not 2 C's.
Thicker
I
than a
promise you.
Snicker. Yeah, I noticed it in the face. Like when I first saw her, I was like, "She pregnant?" Because her face was full.
I like it.
She had like a full face. I mean, when you date somebody for a year, that's kind of what happens.
I feel you. They both got money too. I feel you.
Well, I think she
Mrs.
looks better
Kelsey's
now
making
than she
her
did.
meals.
Oh, I ain't really a Taylor Swift look fan.
I'm just
Yeah,
I'll
right.
let you.
It is.
converse on
It
that.
is.
Taylor Swift's
somebody
never
looking.
getting
She
fat.
Yeah,
It's
no.
never happening.
Well, not
too much money invested
Not
to
fat,
let her
But
get
baby
fat.
weight.
But she may not have a baby though. She probably go to Kim K. Right?
Yeah, okay,
yeah.
I'm going to
I
go
think Mrs.
conspiracy
Kelsey's
out
been
right
feeding her
here.
meals.
Okay.
Who truly believes that Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce, Pfizer, Swift are in an actual real relationship?
Of course they are.
You really think
Yes.
so?
I'm kind of on your bandwagon. I don't
No,
know.
you guys are
I'm
What about
not
you,
buying
Pete?
it all the
Pete,
way.
are they real?
That's a little too far, bro.
I'm not buying
That's
it
too
all
You're
the
not
way.
getting, come on. If it's
far.
too far, then say it.
far.
You
It's
think
too
they're a
far.
real couple?
I don't believe in the I think it's a real relationship.
What about you?
Absolutely.
All
What about you, Braylon?
So
He doesn't want to answer.
221.
They like
You don't
making
even wanna
good in my
answer.
man.
No. I just had to put the timestamp on the first time we talked about Taylor Swift. So, 21 minutes into the show.
Right.
I told
All y'all
Maz this-
Swifties.
I told Maz this last year. I think the relationship is real to Travis Kelce.
Oh, don't do that.
I don't think I think Taylor Swift knows what this is. This is a partnership with the NFL. They're expanding the brand of hers and expanding the NFL brand. She's making money in the process.
He getting played?
How much more
What?
money does she need?
But I
Ray?
mean,
He getting played?
But wait a second,
she's a
though. But
billionaire.
Billionaire,
what?
but
She's a billionaire.
market share. She
what do you mean
had
how much
none-
money you need? They keep going. Oprah didn't stop at $1 billion.
I
Oprah's
know,
worth $4
but
billion
yeah, they're together, man. That's together.
I don't know.
No
They are-
way.
they are
He's
a
hitting it.
couple.
So
Show me a picture of them together outside of anywhere but a stadium or walking up to a plane.
Or his
Show me
restaurant.
anything.
Why?
He just got, right after that happened, he gets a $20 million endorsement from Pfizer, and then he signs a $100 million podcast deal. Do you think those things happen if he's not the boyfriend of Taylor Swift?
No, I agree with you, but I think he thinks he's in a real relationship.
I think they both signed. Now, you guys can do your Twitter stuff, but his PR company, there was an accidental leak, whether it's real or not, but it's basically a timeline. You saw that? It's a timeline of their relationship.
And when it's
And
supposed
so
to
if you actually pair up the Chiefs' schedule this year with her concert schedule, basically like 15 of 17 games, she's within an hour flight.
But we know that already. Like, I knew that last year. They set up towards the end of the year. They started rolling in that way. I think they, once again, I think she knows this is a fake relationship.
Yeah,
Well, not a fake
but he
relationship.
doesn't, huh?
He doesn't.
But she gonna drive. What is her track record?
Men are very ego-driven, right? So
Especially once they get a good one.
you can be like, "Ah, man, nah. He
She's
thinks
for
he
me.
can make it. He thinks he
He
can
can
make it real.
save her.
He thinks he can.
He
Yeah,
trying
exactly.
to save her.
He's like, no, this may be this, but no, I got it.
Yeah.
She gonna fall
And
in love
look
with
at
me.
her track
KG.
record. She always she
Look,
chews
Maz
them up
mad
and spits
right
them
now.
out.
Maz
You
all
do
mad
know the
about it,
album.
though.
You know,
She chews them up and spits them out so she can create
her
content.
next
Man's
album
so
gonna be all
mad
about
right
this.
now.
Yeah, oh yeah. Big
This is content, man.
Right.
They like making good and
Man,
Jonathan
she's
Majors,
the
man. I'm telling
ultimate
you.
content
Show
creator.
Maz's face.
You guys are
Show his
silly, man.
face.
Honestly, you guys are just reaching.
I don't know,
That is
man.
such a reach.
All right, you know what?
Man,
not-
you gotta read between
Yeah,
the
so when
lines.
was the last time you had a girlfriend?
Who, me?
Yeah. I know you used to be a stud.
A girlfriend?
You used to be a stud.
We broke up in 2017.
Your stud days are
got
behind you,
7
man.
years since I've had a
Shots
girlfriend.
fired
And
at
it was
Woodward Sports
8 years
Studio.
in between those. Now,
Shots fired.
Now, that don't mean there ain't no bacon on my table, I'll tell you that.
You don't know
While
what
you're
love
waiting
is.
for the perfect job, you still got to earn a living.
Hey, you don't know what love is. I know love.
I see the
That's
metaphor.
love.
man.
No, I know
Right.
what love is,
That's
and that's
love.
why I haven't ever been married. Because I haven't found it
The
yet.
man-made prisons.
Are you-
Man-made prisons, huh?
Yeah.
Hey,
Seinfeld.
You seem like a real happy guy in your self-made
Hey,
fortress. I'll call it that.
I love my family.
I know you do.
I don't want to
I
deter
love
you
that
from,
about
Anson's trying to find love and Maz is calling it prison. But there is another NFL game. It is. Today, ladies and
This
gentlemen.
turned into the view.
It turned straight into the view. I had to get it back on track.
There is a middle ground between the two of those.
Yeah, it's called the Packers versus the Eagles in Brazil.
Man.
Brasilia. Anson, what are your thoughts on NFL in Brazil?
I love it. I think it's really funny. I might get a little crap and pushback for this one, but there are a lot of dudes on that team that come from some really hard areas.
True.
And a bunch of them are scared. Like, come on, man. It's not like you guys are getting off the plane with your family and you got to find a taxi in Sao Paulo. You literally just get on the bus with all of your armed escorts. It's going to be a great experience for them. I think it's, if you guys are buying into this
Fans
safety
don't have
thing-
escorts.
What's that?
Fans don't have escorts.
That's right.
Well,
And
fans
armored
are on their
guards.
own, man. It's about time some Americans start going and traveling and seeing what the rest of the world's
They
like.
got some beautiful beaches.
But why would you put an NFL event? This is just
Because it's one of the largest markets in
Right.
the world. It's Brazil.
I understand. Okay.
There's better
Brazil.
parts of Brazil,
Right.
though, they could have did this at, right?
Like on the
I
beach.
mean, there's about two. There's Sao Paulo
Rio.
and Rio, and that's about it. Now, Sao Paulo, they got larger gang activity, but remember, when they first came out with this gang stuff and told them not to wear certain colors, it's because that stadium, their rival, their football rival, wears green. And so that's why they asked them not to wear that. I think it's a big hullabaloo about nothing. This
And they
game's
picked
going to
two
go
green
off.
teams.
There's going to be a few people that get pickpocketed. Everybody's going to return home,
Yeah,
and
that happens
then
everywhere.
the NFL will be back in 2 years.
Yeah.
All right.
Sound
So
good.
let's focus on the football side.
if
of
you
things.
could watch it, it's on Peacock.
Yeah.
I got Peacock.
By the way, they raised Peacock up from $5. It's now $8.
Yep. I just got mine.
Can I
on
talk
now.
about my pirate site, or can I not share that?
Yeah, I'm gonna need that because I'm sick and tired.
Live Sport
my DirecTV.
24.net,
Yo, come on
baby.
home,
I
man.
sent it to him
My
in the
Come on
ESPN
home, man.
I'm still ESPN-less.
I sent it to
Maz, now let me ask you.
Maz, I got you. Come on home, man.
Are you good
Come on
at
Hey, I'm a pirate.
Are you good at closing out pop-ups? Because otherwise, if you are, I got
you
you.
gonna have a problem.
gotta know
Man's
how to-
gonna have like 8 pop-ups.
Please
You don't know how to
pop
manage
He'd be
pop-ups.
face on you. What do I do here?
Right. A whole bunch of those type of pop-ups too.
LiveSports24.net
Right.
for you at home that don't like to pay the bills.
And meth streams. And no, you will not get arrested. It's
How much
2024.
buffering is there?
Reddit
Like,
meth streams.
they can't stop everybody.
It
much
depends on
buffering?
what you use. But usually, I
Reddit and
I
Meth
go on
streams.
Internet Explorer, and it's really easy.
Yep.
Yeah.
Internet Explorer.
Or no, it's most.
I thought
Yeah.
that went out with powdered wigs.
No, not Internet Explorer.
He's still
No, no, no.
using Windows.
Yeah, that and AOL. I'm going to have to come
got
back to you on that
America
one.
Online?
Answer using
Do
Windows.
you type in www?
Bray, punch
Right.
in AOL for me, Bray.
All right. Since nobody wants to talk about
No, we do.
the Packers and
No,
Eagles,
we do.
Google
we do.
Chrome.
Well, take
Do
your
it on
time out
Google
and
Chrome.
Yeah, we approach it a break.
we'll
That's
take
why.
a quick commercial break.
Yes.
And let's get a word from BCCSM.
You
Jesus
try
Christ.
it. You try
Join
it,
the
Bray.
best youth football league in Metro Detroit, the Boys and Girls Club of Southeastern Michigan's 3C Sports League. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. I used to be a member myself. It is a safe league because all the coaches are, or all of them have background checks done on them. Detroit, Belleville, Highland Park, and East Point. Register for football or cheer at bgcsm.org. You're playing for a chance to play at Ford Field. Now, you can't tell me as a kid that's what you want to do. Sign up, register now, BGCSM. And then sign up also Planet Fitness, where your fitness is essential with over 50 locations in metropolitan Detroit. It is the gym for you. It's squeaky clean, has trainers for you on deck, no matter what the membership is, and also,
yeah.
home of the Judgment-Free Zone. You got it, man.
Oh, yeah.
Planet Fitness is the place for you.
Can't get enough Lions coverage? Make sure you catch all Woodward sports shows every game day. Wake up with Woodward and Maine, giving you the latest insight into the Lions locker room and press conferences. Then join the Lions pregame show, highlighting key matchups, injuries, and what to watch for during the game. Follow all the ups and downs of the live game action with our Woodward Watch Party live on YouTube and WoodwardSports.com. After the game, check out the instant fan and host reactions with the Lions postgame show. Every game, it's wall-to-wall, kneecap-biting, high-fiving, chest-pumping Lions coverage.
Hell yeah!
Only at Detroit's #1 sports network, Woodward Sports.
Woodward Sports, let's go!
So just to get the heated steering wheel, I also had the spring for the bigger rims.
Yeah, that's how they get you. Those upgrades will cost you an arm and a leg every time.
Hey, new car crew, how'd it go this weekend? I got a great deal on mine.
How?
I went to Randy Wise, not those other guys. They got me in a great new ride, and they didn't break my budget. Hey, could you pass me the sugar?
How?
Never mind.
He made the wise choice.
Yep.
Make the wise choice at
A
randywisechevy.com.
network for the city, by the city. Woodward Sports is Detroit Sports.
Braylon Edwards here, Premier Pet Supply. Man, just looking around, who's got it better than pets? Come on, a baby stroller for Coda? A chef for Lola? Really? You don't have to tell me who the real boss here is. Who's got it better than pets? Nobody, especially here at Premier Pet Supply. For over 30 years and more than 13 locations, Premier Pet Supply has everything that your pet can dream of. And guess what? It's all under one roof. Premier Pet Supply, family owned, operated, and proud to call Metro Detroit home. Check out premierpetsupply.com or scan the QR code today. Who's got it better than pets?
Nobody! The most talked about Detroit media by other Detroit media, and we love it. It's the Woodward Sports Network. Love Woodward Sports? Love wearing clothes? Then you should be wearing Woodward Sports clothes. Check out our full line of merch at woodwardsports.com. Just click on Shop. We have all your favorite designs, like Dan Campbell kneecaps, Woodward Golf, and of course, our own logoed out merchandise. Men, women, infants, kids, all love Woodward Sports. Impress your friends. Impress your boss. Impress your dog. Buy Woodward Sports merch today. Countdown to kickoff is here. Your Detroit Lions are ready for another season of grit. Woodward Sports is your #1 destination for all breaking news and Lions coverage. We are Detroit's #1 sports network. We are Woodward Sports.
Hey, gang, dreaming of a new home but feeling a financial pinch? Well, you're lucky. Mark White and Associates, your trusted real estate expert, are here to help you. Mark White and his team will pay up to $5,000 of your closing costs. That's right, $5,000. That's a lot of money, guys. You can call Mark White and Associates today, 248-290-8242. Visit them online as well, markwhitesells.com. Again, that number, Mark White and Associates, 248-290-8242 to make your dreams come true, Anson.
You guys already know what awesome is. Awesome is when a guy can be a guy and get an amazing haircut, and that is exactly what Lady Jane's Haircut for Men is. It is awesome. Stop in and sit back and relax. Let one of Lady Jane's amazingly talented stylists make you look and feel awesome. Walk in anytime, 7 days a week. Lady Jane's, there's that word again, it's wicked awesome.
You know what? I believe you every time you say it, man. Very, very authentic with that read, man.
I appreciate it. It's awesome, man. We sit here right next to it. It is awesome.
I like Anson's goatee.
I told him I like it.
Yeah?
I told him I like it. He doesn't
does
like
fit
it.
him a
He
little
said
bit.
it's a means to an end. It's because of the situation. So I like it, though.
Should I touch on that situation?
Yeah.
Me too.
If you want
Maz
to,
has been wanting to bring it up since last week.
it's your business.
I may or may not
Exactly.
have gotten poison ivy on my nose, like from here to here.
You gotta watch the women you're dealing with, man.
Definitely on the wrist and on the ankles.
You gotta
and
wash
the
up first.
Frank
Right.
and beans as well.
You don't eat poison
So,
ivy. You avoid it.
yeah, I'm letting the goatee go for another week. Hopefully, we're good to go shape-wise next week.
What were you doing in the poison
man.
ivy?
Frisbee golfing, baby. Frisbee golfing.
Frisbee golf.
Frisbee golfing.
He was golfing for frisbee.
Poison ivy is a stripper's name.
Yeah,
Right.
I got it.
Hoping for an Olympic placement 8 years from now.
Oh man.
Poison
And
ivy.
diving?
Yeah.
No,
If frisbee
Who
golf.
played
Frisbee golf,
Poison
baby.
Ivy in Batman? Was that Uma
Uma
Thurman?
Thurman. Uma Thurman.
Uma.
Right. Shout out to Uma Thurman.
Shout out to Uma Thurman. Kill Bill.
Poison
was,
ivy, right?
Oh, it's
Alleged.
classic.
She was poison ivy. We talked
That's
about.
what
You guys are interested.
just got it.
Hey, it's Friday.
Ba-dum-bum.
So football. maybe
Yeah.
now?
Sao Paulo.
Here we go. Detroit. I'm saying Detroit. The Green Bay Packers, Philadelphia Eagles tonight on Peacock in Sao Paulo, Brazil. Thoughts on Philly? Hold on. Let me rephrase that. What are you most excited about in this game?
Honestly, I want to see the crowd there just because I know how wild Brazilians are about their sports. Obviously, they're kings of football or soccer. That stadium's going to be bananas. I think it's awesome that you've got two teams that really encompass the flag colors of Brazil. But I know you started it off with the Eagles. I'm more scared of the Eagles and the fact that people aren't really talking about them than I am any other team in the NFC. San Francisco, that's the mountain we got to climb, and we got to get over that summit. But the Eagles, if they can put away their problems that they had that crushed the end of their season last year, they've got a roster on the offensive and defensive side of the ball that can easily not only win the NFC, but win the entire thing. So I'd like to see how they play up against a team that some people are picking to win our division. These are two teams that we are going to have to watch all year long and probably see one of them in the playoffs.
How about the NFL, guys? They open up their primetime schedule with 6 of the best teams in the league.
Fantastic.
Chiefs and Ravens, Eagles and Packers, Lions and Rams. And then throw in on a 4 o'clock game on Fox, you got the Browns and the Cowboys. At least something that will interest you. Those two teams don't compare to the other 6. But still, this is going to be a great football game,
don't
man.
forget Monday night.
This is a great football game. Monday night, San Francisco and the Jets. My bad. Absolutely, Bray. That's 8 of the top teams. The Jets are going to be on national TV 7 times alone. All these teams, get used to watching them all. Hopefully they'll all do well, so we got something to look forward to. But I'm really looking forward to tonight's game. Just wish it wasn't on Peacock, which was on a regular channel.
Right.
Storyline, what side are you more looking forward to? Is it Jordan Love in year 2 with Matt LaFleur, or is it Jalen Hurts and Kalen Moore? New offensive coordinator came out from the Los Angeles Chargers. Obviously, we know him from the Cowboys. Yeah. What storyline are you more involved in?
I mean, of course, with the Eagles, I do expect them to be the Eagles yet again. That roster is absolutely amazing. Shout out to Howie Roseman. He knows how to put a team together. The wild card with that team, we all know, is Nick Sirianni. How is that going to look? Because that collapse last year and the whole situation with the coordinators being shuffled, it did not look the best. They look kind of dysfunctional. I don't know what's really going on in that locker room, but with that being said, Saquon Barkley should have his healthiest year ever. They went and traded for Jahan Dotson to add to the receiving core of Devontae Smith and A.J. Brown. They have a unit, man, and not to even mention the front 7 that they have on defense. Yeah. But, of course, as a Lions fan, I am watching Jordan Love and the Packers very, very intently. Now, I know it's the first game, but all this hype around Jordan Love, all this hype around the Packers taking that next step and possibly contending for the division this year, I want to see what they look like early on, because I don't think Jordan Love can afford to come out with another slow start this year. We all know he came on in the last 8 or 9 games of last year. They won a playoff game. All that's great. But if you have a slow start again this year, I don't know about this Packer narrative, and then they never seem to get it done in the postseason as well. So as a Lions fan, I'm watching this game very, very closely.
By the way, sidebar on the Eagles. Devontae Smith, former Heisman Trophy winner, he was stripped of his captaincy. And then they go and trade for Dotson, right? Something's going on there in Philadelphia. But did you know that? Stripped of his captaincy.
I didn't know that. Devontae Smith, the wide receiver.
Yeah, Devontae Smith.
So maybe that's who it was.
Could
you
be.
guys have talked about somebody slept with somebody
we thought it was
in
AJ.
that clubhouse.
There you go.
Somebody slept with somebody?
Yes.
You ain't here?
Yeah.
No,
So when they fell off, I thought that I had
We got
mentioned
another
this.
Ime Udoka situation going on?
Kinda, yeah. Allegedly, it was A.J. Brown that did it.
It was a receiver, and it sounds like it was Jalen Hurts' girl. And that's why they fell off last year.
It would make more sense than Devontae Smith because they went to the same school.
Yeah.
There it is.
That's true.
Yeah. There it
Deep
is.
ties. Deep ties.
Same
There it is.
school.
Oh, I got to give you the buzzer for that.
It's funny. I was
Devontae out here
avoiding
knocking them down.
Yeah, man.
I was avoiding AJ Brown.
Devontae West,
too.
I think it was the other way around.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
Either way, that's
there's
sneaky.
your little sidebar.
That's tough, but you
kind
know
of
what?
went under the radar. That, we
that's
stripped
it.
his captaincy.
That's it. And a guy that young in his career and not having any kind of information in the public, he didn't get a DUI, he didn't hit anybody.
He's a great kid.
Yeah, and so for him to
young
be
man,
stripped
excuse
of
me.
that and it be so low key, based on the stuff that I heard at the end of last season that I've spoken on here a couple of times, that's what happened. That's what happened. And that could be something else that prevents that team from taking the step this year.
And I'm glad you said it. That's exactly where I was going with it. This team cannot get out of their own way.
Yeah.
Whether it's A.J.
Philly,
Brown,
baby.
this
Yeah.
situation, Nick
kinda always
Sirianni,
been
Nick
Philly's
Sirianni.
Don't forget Dom, the
they're
security
dysfunctional.
guy.
The security guys giving away information.
They're
like,
dysfunctional. They're not the Cowboys, but they are very dysfunctional.
they're getting there. They're the NFC East. It just seems like it falls in line with the NFC East. With that being said, I look at Jordan Love and I look at what's going on. Picking the Packers tonight wouldn't be bad. And I know I haven't made my mind up. Maz, we'll do our picks later. Are we doing picks this year?
We did them yesterday.
Oh, we did. I'm tripping. I forgot about
We'll
this.
let Anson make some picks, though.
We can do that.
Yeah.
Green Bay seems like it would be the pick tonight. I think you look at what Jordan Love, Matt LaFleur's got going at the end of last season, how they finished that year. They're trying to continue a pace. Meanwhile, Pete, coming to you, Philadelphia's trying to start. They're trying to start with a new offensive coordinator, which Jalen Hurts going to be, a new running back in Saquon Barkley. Yeah. It's a lot of talent, but it's only one football.
Well, it's a lot of talent, but one thing I'm going to be looking for tonight, Bray, is if Green Bay wants to compete with the Lions and win the Super Bowl, then I'm going to take a look at their defensive front. Rashawn Gary is a guy I'm going to be taking a look for the Green. Yep, absolutely. I'm going to and then next to Rashawn Gary is going to be number 94, Carl Brooks from Bowling Green. And he is a monster out of the nose tackle position. And so I'm very interested to see if Green Bay wants to compete with the Lions. Can the defensive front four, actually it'll be a defensive three, they'll be running the nose tackle. Will the defensive front for the Green Bay Packers be able to stop Saquon Barkley in the run game and be able to control the process of this game? Because that is where the game is going to be won in the trenches here if you're going to beat the Philadelphia Eagles. And I do have a bet whenever you want me to put a bet.
All right, Percy, we can put that up at the end of the show.
You
I'm
got it, my
definitely going to
friend.
take it because I think, tonight is the night. But I want to ask you, Anson, that wide receiver core that Green Bay has, man, they really came on strong. Jordan Love, they really got in the groove. But the defensive secondary for the Philadelphia Eagles, man, they got some new guys. You got Quinyon Mitchell, first-round draft pick out of Toledo. You got Maz's guy, Cooper DeJean, a third-string DB. You still have Darius Slay. You have Nakobe Dean and Devin White is sharing time at that spot. So that defense is just no joke.
It's nasty.
You and I have agreed on this a few times since April. We've felt that the people in the NFC, especially in the NFC North, peppered their offseason moves with acquisitions to counteract the Detroit Lions defense. When I look at Green Bay, their defense up and down is quite terrifying. I'm going to be very, very honest with you. The wide receiver core, you don't have one guy that jumps out, on paper or on film. You just don't know where they're going to put the ball.
Yeah. I kind of disagree with that, but go on.
They've got 4 or 5 great wide receivers, and if you think Christian Watson's their best, he's not.
Are you Reed or Dobbs?
Oh, I'm Reed. I think Jaden Reed is the number one there. That's personally me.
Yeah, I would agree.
And it might be Dobbs as the 1B.
He's the deep guy.
But when you look at their depth in their wide receiver room, the fact that they've got 2 very, very good second-year tight ends, they've got a guy in Josh Jacobs that is he going to run the way that he has been running? Right. But you lose A.J. Dillon, which I think is a little bit of a hit. But now you got a guy in Marquise Lloyd who's the game breaker. So you got the Thunder and Lightning. You got a young quarterback, but the defense is absolutely frightening. I think that their offense, if this kid, Jordan Love, really has a handle on it, they're going to be one of those hardest offenses to stop in the league because you just don't know where the ball's going.
Man, let me ask you a question. Josh Jacobs or Saquon Barkley, who's going to have a better game tomorrow? Who's going to have a better fit with their team?
It's a good one, man. I believe Saquon is going to dominate. I think he's got a chip on his shoulder.
Yeah.
Josh Jacobs is hit and miss. 1 year he's leading the league in rushing. The next year,
60 yards.
The next year he's not hardly getting any playing time.
Ooh. Right.
I just believe Saquon has got a beef, and they're going to run him. They're old school, man. The tush push, all of that kind of stuff. No more Jason Kelsey there in the middle. So this is going to be a different way to watch this Eagles team. And they haven't had a back like Saquon Barkley in a long time. And that guy means
Shady
business.
McCoy?
That guy, I don't know. They're different backs.
But I'm saying that's about the last time he had a back that good. Shady McCoy.
I mean, they had Swift last year, but he was hit and miss. Good at the beginning of the year, kind of disappeared at the end of the year. This Saquon Barkley is going to be dangerous with the Eagles.
Has there been a running back in the last 10 years that has been on a worse offense for the entirety of his career than Saquon Barkley?
No.
Not good point.
I think he's going to explode. I'd love to hear it, but I think
team.
Yeah.
Odell.
Oh, okay. I'm thinking running back. Certainly.
Yeah.
When I look at Saquon and the things that he was able to do in that absolutely decrepit offense, no wide receiver, no tight end.
8 in the box every play.
Every single play.
That's why he was injured so much.
The freedom that this kid's going to see with already one of the highest skill sets I've ever seen for a running back coming out of college. I mean, if this guy wasn't seeing 8 in the box, like you said, KG, would he have been injured?
No,
what
not as
kind
much.
of numbers would this kid have put up if he had been in a good offense his entire career? I think that he, in the first series, is going to see the most daylight that he's ever seen in his NFL career, and he's going to eat.
And he will be taking direct snaps, too.
Oh, yeah?
Yes, he will.
Wildcat, baby, let's go.
Yeah, I think he'll be taking some snaps too, and I think Kellen Moore is going to be a part of that. Look, Dallas Cowboys offense did get better. The offensive output got better. but they were just as good when Kellen Moore was there. I don't think he really got a chance to get comfortable with the Chargers last year and Brandon Staley, who I think is horrible.
That was your clip holder, right?
100%.
At the Jets or the Browns?
Well, he was with the Browns.
Okay.
But I think he's going to dial back in. I think he's in a situation now where Nick Sirianni, he needs an offensive coordinator to do his thing and have some content. And I think they pigeonholed him a little bit in Los Angeles Chargers, things he could and couldn't do. Didn't have the room that he had when he was with Dallas Cowboys. I think you'll see that offense look a lot better. I think you'll see the offense look like something because very much once Steichen left, the offense just didn't go anywhere last year. It was Jalen right, Jalen left, Jalen up the middle, and if Jalen can't do that, then he's going to throw a bomb to A.J. Brown, who just so happened to catch a bunch of them early on in the year. So I think the stability will allow Jalen to play a little more free too. So I hope that that's the case. But
this is going to be a whale of a game.
It's going to be a good one.
This is like a playoff game.
Is it going to be better than last night?
Second game of the year. I bet you it is going to be better than last night.
It'd be more points scored, I think.
Yeah. I don't know. It's an international game. Those tend to be sloppy.
You're right. That turf.
Yeah, tend to be sloppy.
Who knows what the sky will look like either,
soccer turf.
right?
Yeah.
There might be some smoke in the sky, right? With the wildfires, we really don't even know what the hell it's going to look
Bray,
like.
what happens when you play on turf where you have to wear cleats like about a half inch
seven
longer?
studs, so it's like rain and muddy.
Right.
You got your like plastic studs.
So
and things
how
like
much does that slow you down is my question.
You get stuck in it a little bit. Like if you're a 4-3 guy, like you'll notice a difference. You know, and guys notice a difference too. They'll be able to catch you a little bit more. So it slows you because you get stuck when you make the cut. Right. You put the foot in there, they get stuck. Takes longer to come out. So interesting situation there. There is a team that's playing their first game this week, and that is the Detroit Lions. They play on Sunday night against the Los Angeles Rams, and the captains for the season. We didn't get a chance to put this up there yesterday. You put it up in quick, but we didn't talk about it. Did everybody make the captaincy that was supposed to make it there? KG, I'll start with you.
I think so, man. A lot of it is the same. I mean, Panay, that's a no-brainer. Germ has been a captain for quite some time, and he's contributed to earning that. Anzo, he's your main linebacker. Of course, he's supposed to have that. Jared Goff, Amon-Ra St. Brown. I think they nailed it, man. And shout out to Hutch. I think this is his first year being a captain.
It is.
Yeah, so shout out to Hutch, man.
Germ?
Yeah, Germ.
I never heard that.
You've never heard that? That's literally like a lot of people call him Germ.
It's
I like it.
It's like OD on the captain. 6 captains is wild, but I like anybody on there anybody not on there. Taylor Decker's the longest tenured Detroit Lion.
True.
Frank Ragnow is the guy on the offensive. Well,
I don't think you need 2 offensive line captains, but I hear you. I do hear you.
Panay's the king.
It's an alpha dog right there.
Yeah.
I mean, that guy'd be a captain on every single team.
Yeah, Panay is the heart and soul
NFL.
of the Lions.
No doubt.
he is the heart and soul of the Lions, but the identity of the Lions is Dan Campbell. And Dan Campbell, we got some sound from. Maz, take us through this sound because we got some good stuff.
We do. Let's start with Dan Campbell talking about the Ford Field impact that he expects to happen on Sunday Night Football.
It's that he can do it all. I mean, that's what they're going to do their part. They're going to do their part. So as long as we handle our business, it'll be, this place for us, this city, that stadium, it will be home field advantage. It will, and not every team can say that in this league at their own place.
Not everybody can say that. You know, after the Rams game, I think you saw where Ford Field could go, the level, the decibel levels, and this is going to be like the Anson. Do you anticipate that this game is going to have that same atmosphere that it had this past January?
Absolutely, and probably even more so.
Mm-hmm.
When we got this building, Ford Field, every single fan in Detroit knew how loud that place was going to be and what kind of an advantage a good Lions team would have playing at home. Just took us 20 years to realize it.
Mm-hmm.
We knew it from the beginning,
Yeah.
but we finally got a taste of it last year. And I think even Lions fans didn't know what to expect. They were probably surprised a little bit themselves at how wild and loud it was.
Yeah.
We've heard other teams like the Rams talking about what it was like to come in here. But again, we've hit this a lot in the last few weeks. This is the most anticipated season in Detroit sports history. So as much as we were building and we got to that crescendo that was that first round playoff game last year, we had all off season this year talking about it, feasting on it, watching it, getting as much Lions anything as we could. And now there's new people that are bought back in. There's old people that are rebuying back in. That place is going to be so jacked, but it's also a night game. You're going to have people down all day long on Sunday getting it in, and then that place is going to be on tilt.
Yeah, and I mean, honestly, they had home field advantage on the road last year too. I mean, the way Lions fans travel, the transplants in different states is absolutely amazing. But I wanted to ask you guys this because I've been saying this probably the last week or so. The Lions have a top 3 hardest places to play in the NFL. Would you agree at this point?
I think it's number 1.
You think it's number 1? Bray, how you sit? I know you impartial.
Arrowhead is Arrowhead.
True. So I give you that one. Is the 12th man still the 12th man?
But the problem was the bird's nest was so loud.
But that's when they were really good. That's the Legion of Boom years.
Okay.
He's talking about right now.
Currently right now.
Yeah.
Okay, currently right now.
Don't forget, this is indoors versus an outdoor stadium.
I would have to say they're top 3.
Yeah.
Because I'm looking around the leagues and I'm looking at the good teams. I mean, Philadelphia is loud, but it doesn't get loud like Detroit does on the inside. Arrowhead is Arrowhead, so I keep them where they are.
That's number 1 probably. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, Minnesota's not good. If Minnesota was good, that place would be loud. But yeah, I'd say the Lions are. I mean, you hear all the teams talking about it. All the teams that play here, whether it was the Rams, whether it was the Bucks, they talked about those levels and they talked about that. When you play in the playoffs and you play in a place. When I played against the Steelers, like we played in the Steelers in 2011, the playoffs. Like,
Heinz Field.
What?
Yeah.
Yeah, not Acrisure.
Yeah.
Now this was Heinz Field. Man, it was loud as I don't know what. It's off the water. You got the terrible towers going. Like you're not scared. Like this is what you do. This is the job, the profession that you in. But those nerves, they're there. Like you see all this, you're like, man, it's like us against the world. And if you're not ready to step up, you can go down. I think, Maz, and I bring this to you, I think this would be louder. I'm with Anson. I think it'd be louder, but I think the reason why is, one, there's the Stafford hate. The Lions didn't necessarily hate Stafford when they played them in January.
Good point.
Wanted to win the game. They didn't want him, but now the Lions fans hate Stafford. They hate the Stafford name. That's one. They're going to be loud all game because of that. And then, two, did you forget something's getting unveiled before the game? You got a banner. You won the NFC North.
Yeah.
The banner comes out before the game. That's another thing that you're going to be excited about. And also, this is the first time you've seen your Lions since the playoff run last year. I think you add all that into the equation. I think it's going to be louder than last year.
Yep, 2 playoff wins last year, and you get those 2 teams to start the season. You beat the Rams, beat the Bucks. You get him week 1, week 2, and Bray hit it on the nose. Stafford's coming in here. He's got blood on his hands.
Yeah.
He wants to beat them so bad. And guess what? We want to beat his ass just as much.
Calling Kirby dirty.
Right? It is. Yep,
Yeah.
he's tweeting about Kirby,
Kirby
Joseph. Let's see
There's
what
juice
happens,
in this
man.
game.
This should be a whale of a game. Of course it is. It's going to be on Sunday Night Football, and the whole world is going to be watching. Probably be the highest rated game of the entire week. Looking forward to it.
This is when you put your foot in your mouth.
Yeah.
That's when you put your foot in your mouth after the season and you talked about everything else had to do with Detroit and the fans and what they said.
Right.
And Kirby Joseph.
He was happy for the players, not the fans.
100%. But then he went and said Kirby Joseph was dirty. Like, he's go through all these things. And what did the NFL do? They said, we got something for you, man.
We called it too. Remember, we said Rams are going to be the first game of the year.
Yeah.
You called it.
And it happened. And here's a guy that's on the team that we don't even talk about. We talk about Jahmyr Gibbs. We talk about Jameson Williams, Amon-Ra St. Brown, Penei Sewell, Jared Goff. Who brings up David Montgomery's name?
They don't.
Not many.
Yeah.
And here's a horse, especially down on the goal line. That's your guy to go to. And then last year, didn't he rumble for like 70 yards
80.
against the Buccaneers?
80.
Yeah. The
100%.
guy is tremendous. Here's Dan Campbell on Monty.
And what he is. I mean, man, the way he works, he's all business. You talk about urgency and preparing to play, the way he practices, the way he studies, and then every day, I mean, he's the same guy every day out at practice, you know. He works his craft. He gives you all he's got. He finishes every run. He works on protection. He's just gotten better and better, and he's a workhorse, you know. I mean, he's a workhorse. He's going to be there when you need him the most. He's a guy who can finish games out for you. He can start the game out and give you the tempo you need and the demeanor, set the tone, and then he can finish it out for you as well. So I think, you know, for me and for this offense, you got to have 2 backs that, You need a Demo and you need a Gibbs. And if you got that, man, you're cooking with gas.
I feel bad for Monty Williams. Not Monty Williams. I feel bad for Dave Montgomery, and this is why. He's playing in the wrong era. Now, he's playing in a great area. He's going to have a great career. And the Detroit Lions, we already respect him, love him. He's going to help us win a championship here. Us. Man, I play for the Jets. Now I'm a Lions fan.
There you go.
Damn right.
There we go.
It happened.
Yes,
you see
sir.
us, you hear the us.
Yes.
If he would have played in my era, a little bit before my era, he would have been a prototypical type of back that could have been a 1,100 yard rushing back a year. 1,500 maybe, because he runs like Jamal Lewis to me.
Right.
He can break the tackles. He can go long, you know what I'm saying, in terms of the speed.
Yep.
He can run in between the tackles. He's patient. If he would have played 10, 15 years ago, but he's playing now for the Detroit Lions, and just for Dan Campbell to talk about a guy like that, that's the type of teammate, that's the type of player that you want to be or you want to identify with as Detroit Lions.
Well, and when he was a Bear, he wasn't really seen as a big mauling running back.
No.
He was a guy that was a 3-down back that was able to do everything. The only reason why this guy isn't a focal point of Lions talk is because we have a magician named Jahmyr Gibbs.
Yeah.
But I think the understated thing that you got to talk about Monty is his presence in the locker room. This is one of the leaders of this team. He's got a funny, chill side where he can, disarm guys with his kindness and fun nature. But the coach spoke to it. This guy's all business. So he can keep things light, but at the same time, he can push guys to do as he shows. And actions always speak louder than words, but this is a guy that in the clubhouse, on the field, fourth quarter, he's indispensable to this Lions team.
No doubt. And what a back we have. Jahmyr Gibbs, David Montgomery, Craig Reynolds, and Sione Vaki.
Ooh.
That's a hell of a foursome right there. Truly.
Those Samoans, man.
This team's cooking with gas, man.
Here, you brought that up. Here, quick before we go to commercial break. Stats on Sione Vaki game 1.
Ooh. Stats on Sione Vaki.
Give me
before I hit you with that, give me a second to think about it. I'm going to give you this one. What do you call a Samoan mathematician? Tua is a foa. No? Yeah. So I think that Sione Vaki is going to probably get about a 3. I knew someone was going to laugh.
No, we ain't laughing for that reason.
Yes, you are. That was good dad humor right there, gentlemen.
Tua
is a foa.
Pete just put his hands on his face.
That one creeps up on you, Bray. Long you think about it, funnier it gets. Maz is telling that to his kids when he gets home.
Are not
We're not laughing with you.
Right.
We're not laughing with you.
We do not condone or support.
Right.
I imagine Sione Vaki will probably have 2 targets. I think that he'll have at least 1 carry, and he probably gets 3 returns as well. And we get a chance to look at the many things that he can bring to the Lions.
How many tackles?
Well, now that was where I wanted to go after that. I would love to see him in on some dime packages.
Really?
Yeah,
he does play safety.
But we haven't really heard much about him in practice and training camp with him running with the defense. Have you heard any of that?
No.
Yeah,
and I think that'd be one of the things that Dan Campbell maybe keeps close to the best.
Okay.
Or Aaron Glenn keeps close to the best. You don't want to show all your cards before, and this is good that they didn't play the preseason. So I think there's something there, maybe a blitz package or something like that.
Maybe,
but I don't know.
Tua is a foa.
Stop it.
You're right.
You know what? We have more sound from the players. We also have more from Dan Campbell. But we're going to take a quick commercial break after that one. Let's get a message in from Dr. Pierce.
All right, Dr. Pierce, you saw him yesterday right here with us. He's with us every Thursday. Dr. Pierce of Michigan Sports and Spine. Do not miss him. He joins Big D Energy on Tuesday. He joins us on Thursday, as I just told you. Trust the man at DMAC Trust, Braylon as well. Dr. Jeff Pierce is here for you. Visit MichiganSportsAndSpine.com or call 248-426-9944. Ask for Dr. Jeff Pierce. Tell him Maz sent you. And also, how about Premier Pet?
Yeah.
Premier Pet Supply, hands down, Michigan's best pet store, family-owned and operated for over 30 years. 13 Metro Detroit locations, over 60 brands of food at the lowest prices available, curbside delivery if you need it, and, of course, they have nutritionists on call for any questions about your beloved pet. And I know Anson loves his pet, probably more than all of us do.
Yeah.
He is a pet man. That's right. Don't forget, give them a try today. It's PremierPetSupply.com.
Can't get enough Lions coverage? Make sure you catch all Woodward sports shows every game day. Wake up with Woodward and Maine, giving you the latest insight into the Lions locker room and press conferences. Then join the Lions pregame show, highlighting key matchups, injuries, and what to watch for during the game. Follow all the ups and downs of the live game action with our Woodward Watch Party live on YouTube and woodwardsports.com. After the game, check out the instant fan and host reactions with the Lions postgame show. Every game, it's wall-to-wall, kneecap-biting, high-fiving, chest-pumping Lions coverage.
Hell yeah!
Only at Detroit's #1 sports network, Woodward Sports.
Woodward Sports, let's go!
So just to get the heated steering wheel, I also had the spring for the bigger rims.
Yeah, that's how they get you. Those upgrades will cost you an arm and a leg every time.
Hey, new card crew, how'd it go this weekend? I got a great deal on mine.
How?
I went to Randy Wise, not those other guys. They got me in a great new ride, and they didn't break my budget. Hey, could you pass me the sugar?
How?
Never mind.
He made the wise choice.
Yep.
Make the wise choice at randywisechevy.com.
A network for the city, by the city. Woodward Sports is Detroit Sports.
Yo, let me just say, I love Planet Fitness.
Trying out Planet Fitness and dang, they got lots of equipment.
Not me getting a Planet Fitness membership just for the 24-hour perk.
Listen, the PF Black Card is worth every penny for this hydro massage. I'm a new man.
Did y'all know that the PF app has workouts you can do at home? Cheapest therapy I can find is Planet Fitness.
All the benefits, all for less. Planet Fitness, big fitness energy for all.
The most talked about Detroit media by other Detroit media, and we love it. It's the Woodward Sports Network.
Walk into any Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men for an award-winning haircut experience from one of our talented stylists. Enjoy a precision haircut, hot lather neck shave, scalp and neck massage, and a hot towel treatment to top it off. Enter for your chance to win the $50,000 Perfect Bracket Challenge. With more than 25 Metro Detroit locations, there's always a Lady Jane's near you. Lady Jane's Haircut for Men, open 7 days a week. Walk in anytime. Lady Jane's, it's wicked awesome.
Love Woodward Sports? Love wearing clothes? Then you should be wearing Woodward Sports clothes. Check out our full line of merch at woodwardsports.com. Just click on Shop. We have all your favorite designs, like Dan Campbell kneecaps, Woodward Golf, and of course, our own logoed out merchandise. Men, women, infants, kids all love Woodward Sports. Impress your friends. Impress your boss. Impress your dog. Buy Woodward Sports merch today.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Soroki's popping up all over metropolitan Detroit. You know why? It's because the wings, the crispy chicken, the Nashville hot, it doesn't matter. Everything is fire. But speaking of the signature wings, they are here for a limited time. Only real fans know the favorite is at Soroki's. These wings are popping. 7 new wings, all multiple flavors, lemon pepper, honey garlic, barbecue. Got some good flavors in them, man. You guys might want to check that out. But they are spicy, so be careful with it. And if that's too hot for you, then use the regular salads and the fresh sides. They got a pasta salad. They got a pasta salad that I do like. You know something over there?
I'm just waiting for you to talk about those biscuits.
Oh,
Come
you know
on
what
now.
else I was going to talk about? It's the honey biscuits. That's the reason why you go, as well as that crispy chicken. Soroki's.
You run a great business for 50 years. For over 50 years, you expand and you offer more products to more people. That's exactly what Les Stanford did by adding Les Stanford Buick GMC, featuring the same great service that customers have come to know and expect for over 50 years. They're on Woodward just south of 9 Mile. Make sure that you check out Les Stanford in Dearborn today at lesstanford.com. Once again, that's Les Stanford Chevrolet. Together, let's drive.
Let's drive, and we should drive right over to Ford Field where it is going to take place on Sunday. Can't wait to see the magic happen. You know who else can't wait? One of the best wide receivers in the NFL. That is Amon-Ra St. Brown. Yo, last year, second team All-Pro, 1,440 yards, I want to say, and 8 touchdowns. He can't wait, man. Let's get a listen to that.
Yeah, I'm excited. Sunday night, I love primetime games. One of my favorite. Sunday, I mean, we had the Thursday last year, the first game of the season. Love that. That was one of my favorite games. So I expect nothing less. In Detroit, week 1, I remember my second year, I think we played the Eagles week 1, and I was sold out. And so for this game, I just, best fans in the world, the Detroit fans, I teach them to break the decibel record.
Maz, he brings up a good point. Detroit is always sold out. Like, you know, that, with the exception of the 2008 season, which doesn't need to be talked about, the Lions have always sold out. They sell out all the time. So now that you're selling out and you're winning, that's what he brings up. He said, yeah, we were sold out in year 2 against the Eagles. He said, but now it's sold out. He's talking about the winning aspect.
Oh, yeah.
I think that adds to the decibel level.
Not only that, the visiting teams, they can't get in here anymore. Remember when the old cheeseheads would take over? That ain't happening anymore.
Yeah.
Bear fans, sorry,
Forget
you're
about
on the
it.
outside, man.
Forget about it.
Lion fans are not selling their tickets to outsiders. They are going to these games. Tickets are at a premium. And they went from one of the lowest price tickets to I now think they have a top 3 priced
It's ridiculous.
ticket. It's a lot of money. It was a big jump. I don't like it as a fan. I understand it a little bit. People want to go so bad. I was at the eye doctor today, and they're all wearing, all the nurses and everyone there that helps out at the doctor's office, they're all wearing their Lions gear. Everybody's into it. Lions gear is everywhere in this city. You go to Dick's Sporting Goods, first thing you walk into, it's Lions heaven. This is a football town, man. We've been waiting for a long, long time. I've been waiting my entire life. I mean, I wasn't here in 57, believe it or not, guys. Born in 62.
Sure about that?
I'm positive. And as you know, the Lions are one of 4 teams
I'm not gonna tell them.
that have not made the Super Bowl. Have not made the Super Bowl. When Bengal fans, and I hear them, they complain their team isn't going to the playoffs, isn't going to the Super Bowl. Then someone would bring up, well, the Lions have never been there. They're like, no, they have. They have, right? No, they haven't.
Meanwhile, they've been to 3.
Correct. The Lions are the only original team to not make the Super Bowl. The Cleveland Browns are reinvented. The Houston Texans are new. The Jags are new, so on and so forth. But this team, this is the year, man. You heard last year when they lost to the 49ers, and Dan Campbell, just like all of us, despondent at the podium, saying, I don't know if we're going to get back here again, guys. I told the guys, I don't know if we're going to get back here. You've got to win now. You got to strike while the iron is hot. You don't know. I know they're built for the long term, but this is it, man. Yeah. You got everything going for you. Big deal. You got a tough schedule. You really don't know that yet because you don't know how these other teams are going to be this year. There's always 2 or 3 teams that come out from the depths of hell to make the playoffs. The Lions got to keep their heads and wits about them, and they got to beat the Rams on Sunday night. I'm telling you, it's a season maker.
Part of the reason why the Detroit Lions beat the Rams in the playoffs was because of the play of Jared Goff. And Dan Miller had a chance to sit down with Jared Goff and talk about this season, and especially Game 1 against the Los Angeles Rams. Give it a listen.
It's like, just like that, we're back and playing games again, and disappointing the way the season ended last year, but we're excited to be back in front of our home fans now and have another fun season.
Dan told us that he told players to stop saying Super Bowl, stop talking about Super Bowl. You've kind of lived your life 1 week at a time. It's this team, then it's the next team, then it's the next team. But is it hard when expectations are where they are not to peek at the big picture sometimes?
You know, it can be. I think for us, we're in such a unique position where we were, not very long ago at the bottom of this whole thing and have worked ourselves up to get to where we are now to have those expectations and in a lot of ways earn those, but we know you got to earn it every week, and we've been, like I said, on the other side of it where we're just trying to find a way to win, and now we feel like we've got a pretty good team and great coaches and have a chance to make some noise this year, but it doesn't happen unless you win the first one and then the second one and so on and so forth.
What does the experience of winning, of enduring everything you guys did last year, of getting to that NFC Championship do for a team, in particular young players who are figuring out what it is to win in this league?
Yeah, I think it comes down to those moments late in the game when the game's going to go one way or the other. Is it a third down or a fourth down? You get that stop, the offense gets it back, you finish out the game on offense. Those little quick moments right there are typically the difference in the game, and our guys recognizing when those are and really dialing in is the difference.
You start off with the Rams. Obviously, you guys just faced them. Everybody knows the storylines. And I just wondered, it's going to be hype again. I thought about you going into last year's game, and I thought, man, how in the world does he pull this together and just play with everything going on around him? And all you do is come out and complete 10 straight passes and score touchdowns in your first 3 drives. How do you just settle it all down?
Yeah, it's different this year, certainly, with it not being a playoff game, that does change things a little bit. It still is a very important regular season game for us, and certainly an NFC opponent makes it even more important. But for me, it was always last year and will remain this year about our team and my teammates and the coaches, and how can I be my best for them. It's got nothing to do with who we're playing. Obviously, it's my former team, a lot of former teammates and coaches, but it's got nothing to do with them. It's about me and our team and our coaches and how I can be at my best.
What is it like to look at a Rams defense without Aaron Donald?
Yeah, it's a lot better. It's a lot easier to prepare for, that's for sure. And that's not to say they don't have a lot of great players over there, but when you got a guy like him in the middle of that defense, it certainly takes a lot of your energy getting ready, and I know our coach's energy, designing plays around that. But they've got some butt kickers up front still, and they drafted a couple that are pretty good players as well. So we've got our hands full, certainly.
Thought on the offense, where do you get better? You guys have been really good going on 2 years now, third year now. You try to expand it even more. Where do you get better?
Yeah, I think it's just consistency and just pushing ourselves to be more complete and not having lulls in games and drives and throughout the season. But ultimately, like throughout a game, if we get 60 snaps, how many of those 60 snaps can we execute them how we want to? And last year it was better than the year before, and this year can it be better than that?
Evolution of Ford Field, from maybe when you walked in here in 2021 to where it is now, which I think is probably one of the biggest weapons in this league.
Yeah, it really is. It's turning into one of the best home atmospheres in the league, and it's a credit to our fans. They've stuck beside us and obviously went through some hard times together, and now we're on the other side of it where they can feel pretty excited about what we have going, and be loud for us on Sundays and make a true difference in the game, and I know they realize that, and it really does help us win.
It's what you.
And that was actually a darn good interview by Dan Miller, friend of the show. We usually have him on Tuesdays
Dapper
during
Dan.
the season. Dapper Dan, one of the smoothest
Love
guys.
him.
Man, we got two of the coldest guys in the radio game, man. Dan Miller with the Detroit Lions, Dan Dickerson with the Detroit Tigers.
Don't forget the great Ken Cal.
This is true. I was
And
thinking
Mark
about
Champion.
this.
I was just going to say, give me some Mark in there.
Bet.
I was just saying Dan and Dan. You,
I
know,
know.
you guys ruined my thunder.
I'm sorry, bro.
No, I'm just jokes.
Got to
man.
give love to our guys.
This is true.
Yeah.
Two things that were talked about that I like. Jared Goff said the experience in winning. The experience in winning. What he means by that, they got 2 playoff wins under their belt. They know how to win in those moments. They know how not to panic. Like, that's a major thing to have. And the Detroit Lions have never had that experience because they've never won a playoff game, not in the modern era. Excuse me, not since 91, 92. But now that you have that experience, now that you experience, the teams that have been there, look at the Kansas City Chiefs last year. I know they won a Super Bowl, so they have a different level of experience.
Right.
But just look at them last year. Look at how they got through the season. Look at when they got to the playoffs and had to go on the road. They always were calm. They knew those moments because they had players. So I like that. And then the other thing, man, is complete. It's one thing we want to talk about. As good as that offense was last year, as good as the Detroit Lions were, they finished top 2, I want to say, they still had drives and they still had plays where they reverted back to sloppiness, or they reverted back to this isn't one. It's not fully complete. It's a really good team, but it's not complete. I think that's going to be key this year, is him acknowledging that.
Oh, my God, yeah.
Yeah.
They're stacked, man. Top to bottom.
Yeah, they
that
are.
depth chart is stacked, and they're 1 to 69. They're going to use those practice squad players. That's the way this team is built.
Mm-hmm.
That's why Dan Campbell leaves the 53rd spot open, because on Sunday he will fill that with someone from the practice squad. So if you make this team, you made this team. You're going to get playing time. Look at Kendall Vildor last year. He was a practice squad guy. Matter of fact, Tennessee was going to pick him up late in the season. The Lions said, no, you're not. We're going to bring him up to the active roster, and he is still on this team. Yeah, last year against Brandon Ayuk, we know what happened. He defended it well. Unfortunately, it was bad luck. Hit him in the face mask, went right to Ayuk. Ball game. That just happens. But these guys are good, 1 to 69, man. Especially those wide receivers that we're very skeptical on the wide receivers, Anson. Everyone's like, who's going to be number 4? Who's going to be number 5? We got 1 through 6, man. You got 2 guys on the practice squad in Patrick now from Denver, and you got Allen Robinson.
I keep
sitting down
forgetting
there.
Allen Robinson's here. I totally forgot that.
You know, Stick hasn't forgotten that. Well,
Yeah.
Catholic Central love, but or not
100%.
Catholic Central, St. Mary's
St.
love.
Mary's.
When you look at this wide receiver room, I'm not going to compare it to the Packers, because I don't believe that through 4 and 5 we are as good as them. But each one of these receivers has a niche role in here that they embrace and fill so well. And Ben Johnson and Jared Goff are understanding of how to utilize them in this system to utilize their talents most. But you have a top 5 wide receiver in Amon-Ra, and everything plays off of that. The amount of weapons, though, that Jared Goff has at his disposal isn't just limited to the wide receivers. You've got 3 backs. I know 2 of them that we're going to focus on, but you had Vaki in there. You've got 3 guys that are tremendous catching the ball out of the backfield. You have the best rookie tight end of all time, returning, healthy, we think. But this guy that suffered quite a few, nagging little things that cost him some time last year. This is an offense that is as good as they've been over the last couple of years. They could take the step where they're just smoking everybody else. I mean, better than the Chiefs, better than the Eagles, better than anybody else. And it is because of that wide receiver room, not just because of Amon-Ra, but because of the different skill sets that they've put in those guys and that they don't try and overutilize them. They just plug them in.
I think they have the best offense in the game. I'd
do
put
too.
them up there.
I agree.
I'd put them up there against anybody.
If J-Mo,
offense,
they will if J-Mo takes that step.
If J-Mo takes it, there's no reason that this isn't the best offense in the league.
Well, you mentioned his name, and here he is talking about his goals for the 2024 season.
For yourself this season, how would you measure it in a successful season for yourself this year?
Winning. That's the main goal, winning. Even though I got my own goals, but the team goal is to win.
What I love about this is, look, this is Detroit born and raised. Like, this is what Detroit fans want. This is what they want to hear. Like, I haven't always agreed with them, but I understand what it is, and this is what it is. It's the team. Mm-hmm. You want the guy to be thinking about the team first. He said, look, I got my own individual goals, but the first thing he said was to win. Yes. That's a team goal, and that's what I love about him. He's a wide receiver that'll go down the field and block. We've talked about that tremendously. But this guy just wants to win. He loves the game, and I think more and more we're starting to see that in Jameson Williams. Oh, no. This isn't anything that I thought it could have been. This is an individual that loves the game and is a damn good player. This is going to be a special season for Jameson Williams. He looks more relaxed when he's at his locker. Remember the first time he put the microphone in his face?
Yeah.
Like, he looks more relaxed. He looks
like a grown-ass man.
For sure.
Maz, there it is.
When they first brought him in and we had to trade up for him, there was a lot of people that were mad. Why are we trading for an offensive guy? We need defense. Why are we trading for an injured guy? And maybe I had the wrong idea of this kid, but when he came in, the little bit that we got of him, he didn't seem like a guy that was putting team goals ahead of his own goals. Mm-hmm. But then last year, and even the year before, you saw this kid running down the field to make blocks. Things that don't show up in the stat sheet, things that aren't going to get you a pay raise. This kid is all about the Lions. 2 much maligned years, but now this guy is totally bought into the entire program where he is not talking about any numbers. I'm blown away by that clip. That, again, like you said, that's exactly what Detroit fans want to hear out of a high-caliber offensive speed guy. And you don't normally hear that. This guy should be a prima donna. You know
what I love about it is it's easy to forget. You know his coach was.
Exactly. Nick Saban.
You know what school he went to.
He's used to winning.
Alabama approaches it differently.
Yep.
And it's funny because for all their great skilled players, for all their players that are All-Americans, and even Devontae Smith won the Heisman, and he wasn't even the starting wide receiver.
Right.
He wasn't number 2. It was Jalen Waddle. Mm-hmm. Jalen Waddle gets hurt. Which one of these wide receivers or skilled players are braggadocious?
They not.
I don't hear Devontae Smith talking. I didn't hear Julio Jones talking when he was balling. I don't hear Derrick Henry for as good as he was and things. They are coached a certain way. And these are the guys that Brad Holmes, Dan Campbell are going. Now, you got to be able to play, but these are the type of guys they're going after. Like, J-Mo just brings his hat and his lunch bell. Mm-hmm. He's ready to go to work.
Terry and Arnold might be the most vocal of all of them, right?
Yeah. But he plays defense. It makes sense.
He plays defense, though. You got it. But
that's different.
You need those guys.
When they get on the field, the talking, you don't mind.
Yeah.
Because you'll be able to see hits. You'll be able to see them locking guys up. And
I love him. He lights up a room.
Yeah.
And now Jameson Williams, man, like I said, he looks like a grown man. He just looks something different about him. And they asked him also about playing on Sunday Night Football in front of that Lions crowd at Ford Field.
What do you expect that atmosphere to be like on Sunday night?
Oh, I expect it to be on fire, from the jump, from when we go out doing the returners go out on the field from the first 60 minutes before the game, 90 minutes before the game. I expect it to be on fire. I know what they're going to do. I know what our fans going to bring. and I know the atmosphere they're gonna bring. So I'm prepared for it.
Man, anytime you ask any of these players or coaches about this Ford Field atmosphere, they all say the same thing. And other coaches say it. You heard Sean McVay say that was the loudest building I've ever played in.
Mm-hmm.
And it's going to be louder than that. As long as the Lions do their part and do their thing, Matthew Stafford's going to have to use the silent count 90% of the game.
Yeah. We still starved as a fan base. And ultimately, last year was kind of like the appetizer. You know, they bring out the mozzarella sticks being, you know, the 2 playoff wins in the division. But now these are absolutely real expectations. And we get to see this team really under pressure, see what they do.
I like that metaphor. That was nice.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. The Applebee's commercials got me, you know.
Okay.
Got me
Dan
hyped.
Campbell.
Shout out Dan.
Steal that order, baby.
Yo, we used to wear that appetizer sampler out when I was in college, man. You gonna get that. Speaking of mozzarella sticks, the mozzarella sticks,
man,
the,
what?
the rib tips, and the nachos, and like, what?
$7-8? Oh,
man,
yeah.
stop
Can't
playing.
beat it.
Stop playing. See, now you got me want to go to Applebee's.
I'm sorry, man.
Now you got me want
We
to
all
Applebee's.
should go, man.
Yeah,
After
Dan
what they
is
did.
6-part series with Dan Campbell, man.
Call it Chili's and we got a deal.
I like Chili's, I do. But Dan Campbell or Applebee's, I gotta go to
baby back. I want my baby Chili's, baby back ribs. Anyway.
Bloomin' onion?
Hey,
Bloomin' onion?
we was looking for the baritone. That's Outback. So
okay.
That's Outback.
I kind of steer away from all of those spots. I would prefer like a Soroki's type of spot to those.
Look at him
That's
bigging
just
up the
me.
sponsor. Look at him. Professional.
Okay, sorry, Dad.
Right.
Sorry, Dad. Didn't mean to have fun answering. I'm so sorry, man. Anyway, answer's absolutely correct. Soroki's is the place you go if you want some food, crispy chicken and wings. You get the spill. But it's gonna be a fun game. Do the Lions have to start off fast in this game? Are you okay if they don't start off fast, or you need them to start off fast? Last night, both teams got off to a fast start.
I'm not so much worried about the fast start in this game. I'm worried about the fast start in this season.
Okay.
And the cloud that a loss would hang
Last year
over
was-
this
okay.
town is worrisome. Because you got a team that's pissed off and coming back in the Rams, and you got a quarterback who has more than just football incentive to win this game. That being said, I think that the Lions are going to handle their business, but this is a game that gets this team off to a quick start or to a little bit of a detour. Because what'll be talked about on all the talk shows, including Woodward, in Detroit and throughout the nation, if we come out and lose that first game, it's something that I don't want to even explore whatsoever.
Frauds.
So, to your point, yes, they need an early start.
Are you going to bring back your old letters if they lose?
Well, I did wear black today.
You
And
did.
I wore black because I believe that the Lions will be in the Super Bowl, and I can mourn the ending of the same old Lions.
It died
That
a
is
while
why I
ago.
wore black today, because I believe that happens this year. But got to have a good start. We've seen great Lion teams get derailed with bad starts. So not only do we need a great start in the game against the Rams, that has to parlay into a 1-0 record to get this team catapulted into the season, because it's a tough schedule. The targets are on our backs, and we're going to need 12 victories this year.
Pete,
Maz, is there?
Go ahead, man.
You know, Pete. You know, let me ask Pete.
I was
Pete,
going to ask him about a betting question.
Sure. Go
Is
for
there
it.
is there a bet that the Lions will score on the first play of the game?
I was actually going to bring that up. I didn't see one, but I'm
first
going
play of the
to
game?
check to see if there is. one.
I could see
J-Mo
a bomb to Jamison Williams.
Yes, thank you.
On the first play of the game.
Okay.
Stole my thunder.
I could see that.
Pete, go for it.
No, he took the words. I was gonna see you
What
guys
makes
were
you
talking
say
about
that?
fast
What,
start-
what makes you say that?
Because you guys were talking about fast starts, and I think that Dan Campbell, I think that Ben Johnson is the type of guy who's going to make a statement really early, and just, you know what, we're going to uncork a nice solid vertical play right off the bat, and if they can put up a quick 7 on the Rams, then it's war. And I think the Lions want the war, and they are going to poke the dragon, and I think you start with a vertical downfield.
Okay, let's have some fun. Let's go around the room and give bold predictions about game one. What's going to happen? You already said. You said so.
One play.
So you want to count that as yours as well?
I'm going to count that as mine, but I'll give you the score.
Count that.
Lions.
Matt said it first. True.
Lions win.
Yeah.
Okay.
Late.
But
and I'm going to call Jake Bates from 55 to win it.
Well, you stole that from Pete.
Yeah,
because Pete said that about 2 weeks ago.
Well,
yesterday,
Matt's been stealing from everybody today. Shout out Greg B29. He stole some other words from him. We love you for the power chat.
Greg B, thanks, buddy.
That's right.
He says keep those Bear fans out.
Stay out. Guardian line. KG, I'm talking about wild prediction as in first play of the game as well. It's understandable, but it's still wild.
I mean, I don't know if this is wild or not, but with Darius Williams being out and Tre'Davious White possibly covering Jamison Williams, I think we see his first 100-yard game.
Ooh.
There you go. Good call.
Bold prediction.
Good call.
I'll give you another prediction.
Okay.
There will be a fake punt in this game.
Yep.
There will be a fake punt in this game.
I hope we're not in a position where we need a fake punt. I like what you guys are talking about. I think that the Lions brass is committed to a fast start, which turns into a 2-0, 3-0 start. So I mean, as much as he talks about Monty coming in and setting the tone in a game, they know that this is a fearsome offense with a lot of weapons and that it's not going to be an under game. Yeah. So I think they come out strong, trying to make a statement and trying to do some things that are a little new for us Lions fans, and that's downfield offense.
Yes.
Yep. And downfield offense. You ready for this?
What?
Lions win the toss. They take the ball.
They take the ball.
That's what I'm going with.
Bam! Wow.
Lions win the toss.
Wow.
Lions take the ball. And now we got 2024 off to a start.
I like that.
That's a hell of a prediction.
If I'm the Lions, anytime I win the toss, I am taking the ball.
Yeah.
Not the win?
Not the win. Sorry, Marty.
But especially at home, because you can set the tone in such a way that the other team, the opposition, doesn't come out to play. You can really have a 12th man help you if you're taking the ball first, especially if you're scoring. Like, that's what the greatest show on turf did.
Yeah.
The greatest show on turf was like, nah. We don't need that second half stuff. Just give me the rock.
Yeah.
Give me the ball. Is there a game? Go ahead.
No, I wonder. You kind of winced in my J-Mo 100-yard game, man. What's up with that?
No, because I was saying like bold and crazy, and I guess maybe
it's crazy from the perspective that some fans think that J-Mo don't got that in him.
Yeah, but like the only person that they've talked about from April to now is Jameson.
That is true, but we have to see it on
I agree with you 100%.
Yeah. So, but I fully believe that J-Mo is going to unload in this game, man, especially with them being weak on the defensive secondary, man. This is a prototypical game to set up J-Mo's upward trajectory.
You know what's about to happen, and it's going to be an interesting place in Detroit.
Yeah.
It's going to be an interesting space, and we can take this and whatever you're going to say. Answer to that. Hold on. Is the Jamison Williams, Amon-Ra St. Brown thing. Because what's going to happen, J-Mo was drafted to be a number one.
Mm-hmm. Technically, yes.
And J-Mo is a number one. And J-Mo's going to prove to be a number one. It's going to be interesting. It's going to be like Devontae Adams and A.J. Brown. Because once Jamison Williams starts to come on, and once you see what it really is, it's going to look a lot different than Amon-Ra St. Brown. And it's going to be great to have both. But J-Mo's going to be the number one.
I can see it.
I'm not sure about that, but to mix in with your point, KG,
it's a great problem to have.
If they come out and they feed J-Mo the ball, even it doesn't have to be all downfield, but if this guy ends up with 7-8 catches and he hits that 100-yard mark, you thought you knew how to scheme for the Lions.
Yes.
Week 2, you're a defensive coordinator. What are you doing? Who are you going to stop? What are you worried about?
Yep, pick your poison.
And so if the Lions come out and win this game with 2023 Lions football, you know what to expect week 2. But J-Mo is that wild card.
Yes.
And if he comes out and it's more than an end around that turns into an 18-yard touchdown or, 3 catches for 63 yards, if it's actual value and he's a focal point of this offense, you're keeping defensive coordinators up at night all season long.
Yeah, the only way to be able to stop the Detroit Lions is, or handicap them if it would stop the run.
Yeah.
Because I don't care how good the Lions' offensive line is, it's predicated off the run.
Yeah.
When they run the ball, it's easy for them to pass. I mean, you saw that in the New Orleans Saints games and others, but they're predicated through the run. If you stop them in the run and you make Jared Goff become, or just make the quarterback, you make them become pass heavy, that would be the only time. But the problem is, ain't nobody done it yet.
Right.
Ain't nobody done it yet. And I use aim for effect. Let's take a quick commercial break, man. This show is rocking and rolling. We'll switch gears and get to the NCAA, where Anson's Michigan State Spartans are undefeated, so are my Wolverines, and they play Maryland, I believe you guys got. And then we have Texas.
Quinn Ewers.
First time Texas has ever been to Michigan Stadium. But first, let's get a message
Horns
in here
down.
from
Horns
Guardian
down.
Alarm. Hook 'em horn.
That's
down.
right. And what happens when you see that black and yellow sign out in front of your house tells the bad guys one thing.
Stay out.
Let Guardian Alarm offer you customized solutions from real experts, 24/7 professional monitoring, and technology backed by people. These people have been proven to care, and this technology has been proven to work. So call 1-800.
Stay out.
That's 1-800.
Stay out.
Call them today. Tell them Woodward Sports sent you. And also, Woodward Sports is going to send you to Woodward and Maine on game day, Detroit. You want to be here waking up with Woodward and Maine, your source for all the insider information on the defending NFC North champion Detroit Lions, with insight from Detroit sports media legend, the great T-Foss, Terry Foster, and rising star Matt Broder.
And you.
Get ready, Detroit, every game day. Right here, 8 to 9 a.m., Woodward and Maine, and then following them, you got the Lions pregame show, sponsored by Sabbath Coffee and Tullamore Dew Irish Whiskey. Every game day, Neil Rule and Sean Belegian bring you the best Lions pregame show, Sunday 10 to noon, but this Sunday, we're going to be 5:30 to 7:30 at the second best bar in Detroit at 42 Watson Street, live at 5:30 this coming Sunday. But you want to watch the pregame show and be up to date on the latest injury reports, fantasy sit and starts, and Detroit Lions knowledge. Delivering it only as Neil and Sean can. Join us for every home game live at the second best bar in Detroit, your official guide to Lions game day on Detroit's numero uno sports station, which is what, Kenny G?
Woodward Sports.
It's bear hunting season, and Dan Campbell is hungry for some kneecaps.
If you can just get a hold of them and you start dragging their ass out to the deep, dark abyss, you can drown them.
The Kings of the North are back for another year of the brand new Lions. Make sure you're locked in to Detroit's #1 sports network for all the news and info on your Detroit Lions.
Woodward Sports, let's go.
Braylon Edwards here, Premier Pet Supply. Man, just looking around, who's got it better than pets? Come on, a baby stroller for Coda? A chef for Lola? Really? You don't have to tell me who the real boss here is. Who's got it better than pets? Nobody, especially here at Premier Pet Supply. For over 30 years and more than 13 locations, Premier Pet Supplies has everything that your pet can dream of, and guess what? It's all under one roof. Premier Pet Supply, family owned, operated, and proud to call Metro Detroit home. Check out premierpetsupply.com or scan the QR code today. Who's got it better than pets?
Nobody! A network for the city, by the city. Woodward Sports is Detroit sports.
Oh, let me just say, I love Planet Fitness.
Trying out Planet Fitness, and dang, they got lots of equipment.
Not me getting a Planet Fitness membership just for the 24-hour perk.
Listen, the PF Black Card is worth every penny for this hydro massage. I'm a new man.
Did y'all know that the PF app has workouts you can do at home? Cheapest therapy I can find is Planet Fitness.
All the benefits, all for less. Planet Fitness, big fitness energy for all.
The most talked about Detroit media by other Detroit media, and we love it. It's the Woodward Sports Network. Love Woodward Sports? Love wearing clothes? Then you should be wearing Woodward Sports clothes. Check out our full line of merch at woodwardsports.com. Just click on Shop. We have all your favorite designs, like Dan Campbell kneecaps, Woodward Golf, and of course, our own logoed out merchandise. Men, women, infants, kids, all love Woodward Sports. Impress your friends. Impress your boss. Impress your dog. Buy Woodward Sports merch today.
All right, what we got? Randy Wise Automotive. Look, man, golf season is almost over, and y'all need to get in while you can to play with legends like Darren McCarty, Kirk Gibson, Calvin Johnson, or the man that says I hate on him constantly, Braylon, Edwards, man. It's the Randy Wise Celebrity Golf Tour. Register today, and you can play like an MVP. Go to woodwardsports.com and scan that QR code above my head. And when it comes to your next car or truck, make the wise decision. It's Randy Wise Automotive. And make another wise decision. Get you the freshest sports gear in the game right now. woodwardsports.com. We got everything you need. You see the screen up here. The Boot 'em Kids. Boot 'em Kids shirt flying off the shelves, man. Stoked, not scared. We definitely stoked, never scared. And the Woodward Sports Tigers, man, on top of everything else that we got, it's a plethora, man. Hoodies, tees, hats, everything guaranteed to turn heads, but only at woodwardsports.com.
It's funny, I heard other people saying "Boot 'em Kids," and I know where they got it first.
You
but
damn
you know,
right.
That's neither here.
It's great.
Nor
That's technically me.
there.
You know, I take credit
welcome
for
back
that
in. Almost to the home stretch now. Ermanni and Edwards with Maz. Anson, how you doing over there, man?
Great, man. I'm excited for the weekend. Got football tonight.
Football, baby.
I know you want to talk college. We got that on Saturday.
This is true.
Sunday, we got the Lions coming back. On Saturday during the day, we do have our annual charity beer tasting at the Jack Frost Auto Museum out in Washington Township.
All right, I like it, man.
How do people
I know
get a
you're
hold of
busy,
that?
but somebody's been invited and never got an answer.
Oh, I'm sorry, buddy.
Ooh, shots fired. Y'all been firing at each other all show.
Hey,
I apologize for not
these two could have done
It's okay.
done the show themselves today.
Smack the chair. You know it's real.
I love you for that reaction.
I only see that when he's watching the Tigers game.
You're right.
That's typically when that comes out. Michigan and Texas.
One of these days.
It's almost here. First time they've ever played. Anson, what are your thoughts on Michigan and Texas? Michigan didn't look terribly great last week against Fresno State. Kind of almost limped away. Big interception by Will Johnson after that. Then added one touchdown, so he finished 30-10. Texas blew the doors off of Colorado State 52-2. 52-0. They had a lot of changeover as well, but it seems like they've managed.
I'm really seeing a lot of psychological stuff going on with this emergence of all these teams into the Big Ten. Michigan, I felt they were going to win this conference, but the snowball that continues to grow of distractions in Ann Arbor right now, and I'm not going to go into them. We've talked about that plenty of times. But when you're a young guy and you're a new coaching staff and you're trying to set the tone, it's a lot to deal with. Now you got to deal with maybe the number one pick in next year's draft in Quinn Ewers. You know, him and Shedeur are both looking pretty top notch. So this is going to be a very, very tough test for the Wolverines. Seeing some of the stuff that I saw with them with Fresno State, This is not a focused team. This is a team that might be a little too big for their britches right now, coming off of a national championship win. They don't have Harbaugh there to deflect all this stuff, to instill a calm. You got a Texas team that's coming in hungry to establish who they are in the Big Ten. This game could shape a little bit of the future for this conference, because if Michigan loses this game, you already know what's going to be happening with Michigan fan and Ann Arbor and the people asking what's the status of this season and this year's Wolverines. It's a big, big game for them. I'd like to see them lose, but at the same time, I kind of want them to. Well, hold on. I kind of want them to win, because I don't want Texas to come in here to the Big Ten. Their first year.
They're not in the Big Ten.
They're not in the Big Ten.
They're in the SEC.
Well, I thought that they were part of the Big Ten.
SEC.
Excuse me, guys. I'm not a college
Pac-12,
expert.
The Pac-12 came here.
So this whole time, I'm still not clear on all the teams that joined the Big Ten.
Texas and Oklahoma went to the SEC.
Okay. So
MSU is going
I've been
to the Big
cleared
East,
up,
by the
guys.
way.
This is a team that Michigan can lose then if it's not in the conference. Again, I'm not a huge college football guy, but I think that Quinn Ewers is going to be a massive test, and your boy Will, who's supposed to be the best cornerback in the nation, is going to have to come out with a hell of a lot better showing than he did against Fresno.
First of all, did you hear what Matt said?
I didn't.
He said Michigan State's going to the Big East.
Yeah.
You didn't hear that news?
Yeah, that was
the USA.
You guys will do
to
well
the Big
there.
East. He said you guys are moving to the Big East.
You guys are going to do well there.
It was a joke. It hit when he said it. But anyway, I know 91% of things you say about Michigan I disagree with, and just off top. But I actually think there's some truth to what you say. There can be some distractions up there in terms of a little big for your britches, coming off the national championship, a little bit distracted, and maybe put it in the work. So that could be true.
New coaches,
One of them, and that's
carousel,
definitely going to be, and it takes time.
Yeah.
You got 5 new offensive linemen. They wanted Joe Moore 2 years in a row and finished runner-up last year. You go from that to 5 new offensive linemen, so it will take some time. Maz, what is Michigan's path to winning?
Oh God!
Right.
We play these games. Like, what is? It's funny. We haven't played this game.
Hold
in a
the
while.
ball. Hold the ball.
Hold the ball.
So run the ball with Mullins. Run the ball with Mullins.
Run the damn ball.
Yeah.
And keep it away from Texas. And this has got to be a low-scoring game to me. I think the over/under, if I'm not mistaken, is like 42. And that's exactly where they should
Texas
be.
might get
If they
that
have a
out of
chance to win this game, it's got to be 42 or under. That's my belief, because the defense is going to win this game for them. I didn't see anything last week that's going to help me feel good about this Michigan offense. I see two quarterbacks, so you don't really see any. I see Donovan Edwards really was not the Donovan Edwards I thought he was going to be. And you didn't see the receivers do anything except the tight end in Loveland. So, to me, you got to play keep away from Texas. I don't want them putting up 40 points on me in the big house. Yeah. First time they've come here ever, I think.
Yeah.
Last time they met was in the Rose Bowl, way back when.
3 touchdowns.
And I think a guy up there had 3 touchdowns. But what I want to know is, and this is kind of secret, Sherrone Moore doesn't have a contract yet?
Yeah.
What's up with that?
We talked about it last week.
Yeah, Michigan seems not to play the money game with these coaches. That was one of the reasons why Jim Harbaugh allegedly left. But we'll figure that out when they work their contract out. It is interesting that you've played a game as head coach of the University of Michigan and you don't have a contract. Getting back to what you said, I think we did see Donovan Edwards for what Donovan Edwards has been. Donovan Edwards is a guy that's a patient runner. But when you're running behind the best line in all of college football, you can do the tiptoe. How many times have we seen Donovan Edwards run into offensive linemen,
and then bounce out,
then bounce off of offensive linemen, realize where he was, and then go score a 75-yard touchdown?
Those were his 2 touchdowns.
Those guys aren't there anymore.
Yeah.
So now who was Donovan Edwards? And I think that was a good game for Michigan to assess. They may have to use him more in the pass game.
Yeah.
Mullins might be your running back. Use Donovan Edwards in certain special plays, and then use him in the passing game.
I believe he has to be the Don, as Gus Johnson calls him, for the Michigan to win this game.
Are you guys sold on a quarterback?
Absolutely not.
No,
right, absolutely not.
What quarterback?
And to be honest, I think they were really relying on Alex Orji being the guy.
Yep.
And he didn't end up being the guy. They had to throw Davis Warren out there because he's a better thrower of the football technically, and the results aren't there. So I don't know whether they need to mix something up on offense or whatever, but the run game doesn't seem to work, especially if you're going to use Donovan Edwards as a 3-down back. So they need to mix some things up, man. Switch some things up with this offense.
The only thing I'm disappointed with, look, Texas looks much better than Michigan, but it is week 1. I'm not going to overreact. We'll see how it plays out, and I'll be able to give you my final take on Michigan after the Texas game, realistically speaking. The only thing that disappoints me about the last 3 years is you didn't protect yourself in the quarterback space. All the other stuff, you can make the excuses, and I agree with Sherrone Moore, first-year coach, Jim Harbaugh, iconic coach, left. He took Ben Herbert with him. Ben Herbert was the best strength coach in all of college football. You saw what he did to those players. They don't look as fast. They don't look as strong. But with that, you got new offensive linemen, new system. You got new players. I understand all that. But a quarterback? For Michigan to go out there in week 1, after knowing, like, you're supposed to vet the process, you're always supposed to have the next guy up. And I know they got Jaden Davis, but – Jaden Davis, but
red shirt.
Red shirt. You red shirt. How aren't you protected? How am I looking at a walk-on that now has a scholarship, but he's just okay? And Alex Orji that's the one place that I'm disappointed in this Michigan team. There's no reason for that. Like, you guys were the number 1 team in the country, and you were the number 1 brand over the last 3 years. There's no reason you don't have a quarterback.
And when you guys had the Cade and JJ debate, you had a guy that was steady versus a guy with massive upside. And this situation now, because a couple years ago we saw this Wolverine team changing quarterbacks mid-game.
Oh, this has been a thing in Michigan since Chad Henne left.
Oh, sure. But when it was Cade and it was JJ, you had a guy that you felt you could still win the conference with versus a guy that you felt you could win a national championship with. When I look at the two right now, just a little bit that I knew about Orji coming in, I didn't see him being the starter. Yeah. And now you're in a situation where you're trying to defend a national championship, and the most important position on the field is your biggest question mark. So I'm worried for Maize and Blue. I don't want to see them lose this game to Texas, but I won't be that upset when they do.
How about your Smarties against Maryland?
Yeah, that's what I was going to ask you.
I mean, that's a trap game all day long.
Maryland's actually a good team.
I know that's a trap game. Maryland was a walkover. That's an easy W for years. It was kind of like Rutgers. And
I got Maryland by 20.
I won't be watching. I'm going to tell you that.
You're not going to watch?
What?
No, I don't.
Big MSU fan? What?
So you
I'm
come in.
alumni. You know how many football games I've been to for Michigan State?
Hold on.
One. 1997 against Michigan.
I'm going to take you to a
You
game.
can't come up here with all that Michigan hate and you don't even watch your own school.
I watch all kinds
you
of
don't
our
even watch your own
basketball.
school?
I watch all kinds of our basketball.
Even when Michigan sucked,
you guys think that I lose sleep over Michigan. I but sleep over Michigan.
But everything in Texas is about Michigan.
They're garbage.
Wow,
I will absolutely point out, because if it was any other school, it'd be the same.
That's losing sleep, Anson. Like, you legitimately.
No, I work.
You will text me and Maz at 11:40 p.m.
I broadcast sports, so when I sent you the breakdown and you said get a life of all of the different universities.
At night.
I love them.
It was 11:20 at night.
Thank you.
I don't hate
them. What you
I
didn't
love when
like,
you write back to them.
What you didn't like was the long list of infractions. I mean, there was 11 teams, and they needed 3 headings just for Michigan.
Anson, what you fail to realize, I don't give a what about what Michigan has done. That's not what pisses me off, but that's not what gets the jokes. Every time you send something, it's about Michigan.
Yes.
No, let's go back through. I sent all kinds of stuff. I also sent some Michigan stuff.
But you send that as fluffer stuff, so you can put more
I
stuff in there. Hey, I'm gonna put something about Caitlin. I'm gonna put something about the Tigers. Michigan. I'm gonna put something about. Yeah, it's a.
You can't come up here with all that hate and not watch the team.
Wait a second. You guys always want. Well, what about your Spartans? What about your Spartans? Like you all don't think about it too. You guys are so desperate to be big brother. It makes you little brother.
You can't rep if you're not watching the game.
Period. OSU is not your rival. Michigan State is.
Anson, first of all, Cap. Second of all,
4 out of the last 20.
I know.
4 out of the last 20.
Last year, year before that. I don't have beef. I'm doing a sports show, and your team plays tonight. And so I have to cover them. So I had to ask you a question.
Why would I be watching them when I could watch the Packers?
Because you do a
Eagles?
sports show.
And
so you have to watch both so you can report on it.
And
I don't even have
State
TV, man. Livesports.net. I got to do 2 of them.
Bro, you shove State down our throats and you not watching the game?
I shove State down your throats?
No, he shoved,
or do I shove
Michigan hate
Michigan's garbage actions over the last 170 years down your throat?
MSU got all these championships in the 60s and all that.
Yeah, because those are statistics.
Easy, son.
Easy.
Okay, man. You lucky man saved you, man.
You still haven't Googled those 6 national championships since 1952, have you?
Listen,
because the truth hurts, KG.
Listen, Connor Stallions is the head coach of Detroit Mumford. Did you hear that?
Shout out Mumford.
Hey, how about Connor Stallions being in business with Blake Corum while he was a college athlete? That's illegal
too.
Not
watching the football.
That one's coming back around.
NIL. What are you talking about? NIL. You started LLC.
No.
NIL.
Start an LLC.
By the way, shout out.
You can start an LLC with anybody.
Shout out to Detroit Mumford's head coach.
Mumford Mustangs. Let's go, baby.
Ill and Connor Stallions. Good luck to you, kid.
Let's say one more quick word, baby. We do have some more bills to pay. Let's get a message in from my man Pete in Swiss.
That's right. Right now, more than ever, it is critical for you to have your insurance reviewed, and Swiss Insurance will make sure that your carrier is not slipping in those extra fees. Call Mark at Swiss Insurance today, 313-530-1698, or head to SwissINS.com. Kenny G, postgame.
Hey, and if Anson not watching the games, I know y'all is, man. So come to the watch party, man. We got the best Lions post-game coverage in the city of Detroit and the state overall, man. You got the watch party with the heavyweight. Shout out Easy and Spimo Racks. You know they're going to be coming with live reactions during the game, telling you what it is. And then after that, you got the post game with Stick
#1 watch show on Woodward Sports, baby.
That is facts with SOL, Anson, and Stick, man. You can get their first reactions to everything Lions and maybe a bit of overreaction as well, man. Everything is going to be live from Hayes Social and Shelby Township. Shout out Stick, great bar, great pizza. And, you know, we're going to be broadcasting on Woodward Sports, Detroit's #1 digital network, both events sponsored by Sabbath Coffee.
It's Bear deer hunting season, and Dan Campbell is hungry for some kneecaps.
If you can just get a hold of them and you start dragging their ass out to the deep, dark abyss, you can drown them.
The Kings of the North are back for another year of the brand new Lions. Make sure you're locked in to Detroit's #1 sports network for all the news and info on your Detroit Lions.
Woodward Sports, let's go.
Love Woodward Sports? Love wearing clothes? Then you should be wearing Woodward Sports clothes. Check out our full line of merch at woodwardsports.com. Just click on shop. We have all your favorite designs, like Dan Campbell kneecaps, Woodward golf, and of course, our own logoed out merchandise. Men, women, infants, kids all love Woodward Sports. Impress your friends. Impress your boss. Impress your dog. Buy Woodward Sports merch today.
Walk into any Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men for an award-winning haircut experience from one of our talented stylists. Enjoy a precision haircut, hot lather neck shave, scalp and neck massage, and a hot towel treatment to top it off. Enter for your chance to win the $50,000 Perfect Bracket Challenge. With more than 25 Metro Detroit locations, there's always a Lady Jane's near you. Lady Jane's Haircut for Men, open 7 days a week. Walk in anytime. Lady Jane's, it's wicked awesome.
Can't get enough Lions coverage? Make sure you catch all Woodward sports shows every game day. Wake up with Woodward and Maine, giving you the latest insight into the Lions locker room and press conferences. Then join the Lions pregame show, highlighting key matchups, injuries, and what to watch for during the game. Follow all the ups and downs of the live game action with our Woodward Watch Party live on YouTube and woodwardsports.com. After the game, check out the instant fan and host reactions with the Lions postgame show. Every game, it's wall-to-wall, kneecap-biting, high-fiving, chest-pumping Lions coverage.
Hell yeah!
Only at Detroit's #1 sports network, Woodward Sports.
Woodward Sports, let's go.
If you want to know where the best pregame Lions party will be on September 8th, you can join us at Detroit's very own second best bar located at 42 Watson Street for the ultimate fan experience. Enjoy some smooth Tullamore Dew Irish whiskey while catching the Woodward Sports pregame show, which will be 5:30 to 7:30 this Sunday, only at the second best bar, and you can come get some.
Some very scary stuff dealing with divorce, child custody, visitation, and other family issues. But it's not scary when Kevin and Catherine at KDK Law have your back. They've got 10 plus years of experience, and they are available to you 24/7. That QR code you see on your screen, scan that or give them a call at 248-971-0476. Make sure that you say Woodward Sports sent you, and they will pay your filing fee. KDK Law, they got your back.
I want to bring it back to the NFL for our last segment. Quick question though, Maz, do you agree with this analogy? Ryan Clark said that Lamar Jackson is the NFL's version of Russell Westbrook when he was with the Thunder. But think about it. He won MVP. He was Mr. Triple-Double. He'd been to an NBA Finals.
But didn't win a championship.
He could never do the big.
I think it's too early yet. I'm going to give him this year.
Okay.
I am. I'm picking the Ravens to represent the AFC.
Okay.
So I'm going to put my money where my mouth is when it comes down to it. We'll see how. They're a very good team. They have a lot of talent. And that was yesterday. They missed it by a toe. They were going to go for the win too. Did you see?
Yeah, they were.
John Harbaugh was saying stay in and go for the win.
Yep.
That would have been pretty fun.
I think the NFL hates Lamar Jackson. I think they love him during the regular season, but they don't ever really want to see him do anything.
They don't want him to win, but they don't want to win, but they want to win.
Yes.
Yeah.
I like it.
Hey, remember how we made our predictions this week? I picked, you picked, Ryan picked. We did our predictions
a couple days ago.
Yep. ESPN had their predictions as well. This is their FPI index. This is how they think the season is going to go. They feel that the Bills and Falcons will miss the playoffs. They also say Caleb Williams will lead the Bears to the playoffs. Eagles' late run wins the NFC East. The Bengals will win the AFC North from the Ravens.
Ooh,
The Bucks will win the NFC South. How about this one? The Vikings will stumble to 4-13 on the year and the #1 pick in next year's draft.
Who's that? The Vikings?
That's the Vikings. This is the football.
Who's #1 pick right now?
They got a tough schedule.
This is the FPI.
I mean, Shador. I think Shador.
But they have their quarterback. They got J.J. McCarthy.
The Cowgirls will do everything they can to get that #1 pick.
That's what Ryan's been saying. That's what Ryan's been saying. They also say Aaron Rodgers and a strong defense will propel the New York Jets to the AFC title game. How about that?
Go Jets.
How about this?
I'm there.
Here's their wild card round. They got the Jets beating the Dolphins. They have the Bengals beating the Jags. The Ravens beating the Texans. The Bears beating the Eagles.
Wow.
And the 49ers beating the Cowboys. Also, they have the Buccaneers knocking off the Packers in the playoffs. That takes us to the divisional round. The Chiefs over the Ravens. The Jets over the Bengals. The number 1 Detroit Lions defeat the number 7 Chicago Bears. The number 3 49ers over the number 4 Buccaneers. And in the conference championship, they've got the Chiefs beating the Jets 31-23, and the Lions beating the Niners 30-24, which sets up a Kansas City and Lions Super Bowl, which goes to the Detroit Lions.
No three-peats over here.
How about that?
Yeah.
That is from ESPN's FPI Index. That is their yearly predictions.
It's a statistical
Pretty cool.
merit to it. I think it's safe to say people are seriously in, and not just people, AI as well, are in on the Detroit Lions and what they're going to be able to do. Anson, we didn't get your predictions.
Pain.
Give us your, I like it over there, Clubber Lane. Give me your, what is it, wins and losses, and then your Super Bowl prediction.
12-5, which wins the division.
That's what I had him at.
And a Super Bowl berth. I do think that this is the Lions' year. I think when you look at the NFL, and you guys know that I believe that it is the NFL entertainment at this point, the Lions, they're not a backwoods team without any, ability to generate money. We saw with the draft what this city is all about. We saw in the 2 playoff games last year what this team is all about. We saw, as KG mentioned, on the road, the following that this team has. This is kind of America's team now. I think that the Lions in the Super Bowl and even winning it makes a ton of sense from the NFL's standpoint in terms of making money. But when you look at this roster, they have everything that you need to make a Super Bowl and to win it. I'm not going to go out and say that the Lions are going to win the Super Bowl because I think that would just be jinxing it. I think that the Lions shut me up, and I wore black because it's the end of SOL. Lions make the Super Bowl with a 12-5 record. And it's going to be a struggle. There's going to be some times where Lion fans are a little worried, a little disenfranchised, but I don't see them stringing together 2 losses in a row like we did not at any point last year. I think the mental capacity and mental strength, the grit, the will of this team is going to carry them. And it's going to be
who goes in the
ride.
AFC?
In the AFC, I think that the storyline of Kansas City, the profitability of Kansas City, the fake relationship that I mentioned earlier, it's set perfectly for them to come back, and you either get a brand new champion that the whole country embraces, or you get your first three-peat. I think that the NFL, that's a win-win scenario for them.
All right, last question on the show. This has been a hell of a show. I appreciate you guys. I appreciate you guys for tuning in too all week, man. It's going to be a great football weekend, great sports weekend too. I think the U.S. Open is going on now, so it'll be a good weekend of sitting around and watch some sports. But the Detroit, I forgot what I was saying. I tried to end the show. I forgot what I was saying. What were you talking about?
I don't know, but I feel bad now. I think I'm going to watch the Spartan football Saturday.
Here you go. You should. Patrick Mahomes wins the Super Bowl this year. Will you put him ahead of Joe Montana?
Yeah.
Okay.
Hell yeah.
Will you put him ahead of Tom Brady?
Not yet.
Yeah,
not yet.
You can.
But he's closing.
4 Super Bowls in
He's closing.
8 years. No, 4 Super Bowls in 7 years.
He's amazing. He's
4
amazing.
Super Bowls in 7 years.
Top 5 quarterback of all time already.
If he wins Super Bowl this year, Pete, is he better than Tom Brady and what he did?
Not yet. Not yet.
If he wins this year, no.
Not yet.
I need 5 from him, but winning 3 in a row is something never been done.
Yeah.
This is the only reason why I say you guys got to stop saying, I need more time.
Right.
The man won't force, if he wins, it'll be 4 Super Bowls in 7 years.
Yeah. I hear you.
4 Super Bowls in 7 years and 3 in a row, which nobody has ever done.
Yeah.
You see what it is.
Yeah.
Like he doesn't have to win 7 for you to see that he's as good.
That's true, but he could stop right there. Like we don't know if he'll get
I don't
back
need him to
after
win
that.
another one. Like I've already seen how good he is.
I feel
if he has the sustainability for another 8 years after in terms of stats and making it to the playoffs and whatever to get the yardage up there, He's already won 4 inside 7 years.
If
at
he
that point.
three-peats, I think that automatically puts him as the number 2 best of all time. And then it's
but why not number 1 though? It took Tom Brady 21 years to get those 7 rings.
I understand, but we have not seen anybody win 7 rings. Not even Joe Montana, who had 5.
Okay,
so I'm just
then
saying.
it becomes an age-old adage about the NBA and Bill Russell and Michael Jordan.
I mean, that's what it is now, though.
Here's
they call Michael Jordan the best player ever after he won the first 3 rings. The first 3.
But it's the way Jordan did it. That's why they called him the GOAT.
Well,
It
took Jordan 10 years to get his first one.
I hear you.
Not 10.
Okay,
excuse me.
so if we got a great team and we're in the finals and you can pick Jordan or LeBron to be on your team,
right?
You're picking Jordan, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So right now you make the play, or you make the Super Bowl, and you get to pick your quarterback, vintage Brady or vintage Mahomes. Which one are you taking?
I'm taking Patrick Mahomes.
Yeah.
I'm taking Patrick Mahomes.
With no offensive holding calls.
Vintage Brady,
I played against vintage Brady. I understand this. I've seen him in person. I've seen him in action. You can't lose, but I'm taking Patrick Mahomes because Patrick Mahomes can do, if you look at statistically, he can do everything that Brady did better. His rates are better at everything, and he adds the running adage to the game until he makes plays with his feet. I'm taking Mahomes.
So to me, the parallel when you look at Jordan and LeBron's bigger, supposedly stronger, things like that. At the end of it, I want the guy that is not letting you win, period. And I think that Mahomes is that guy. I'm not sold on it.
But you know Tom is.
Stop, man.
No. That wasn't the slight. I was saying, I was agreeing. I was agreeing.
And I think it's a really good parallel because when you put LeBron next to Jordan, there's so many people that are going to hop on the physical attributes to say that LeBron is better. But one game, I want Mike. One game so far, I want Tom.
You know what? I did all that as a devil's advocate anyway, because the reason why I'll take Tom, and I agree with you, I still need to see more. I got you guys going. Tom went to Tampa in 1 year 1.
Yes, sir.
Yep.
And guess who we beat twice? The guy that we're trying to replace him with. So with that being said, you see how I set it up?
Hey, man.
You came over at the last second.
Hey, before we close it out, Pete, you got to put your get even bet up.
Oh yeah, please.
People want to know your get even bet. Well, I'm going to warn.
I have made an adjustment to it. Here is the bet for tonight, but I've made an adjustment to it. I'm taking Christian Watson off score anytime. I'm replacing it with Saquon Barkley to score anytime.
Beautiful.
So aside from that, everything on the screen there is what I'm going with this evening.
What is the plus?
Oh, +2. This one that you're looking at was plus 1050. And the one that I will make with Saquon Barkley scoring in place of Christian Watson will be plus 600.
I might put some action.
Folks, do yourself a favor. Do not listen to him. And have a great weekend.
Stop hating, man.
Have a great weekend.
Go blue. Go Lions.
Go green.
Them too.